You're scared. And you should be.
Who are we? Babes! And what do we have? Wrath!
We got a mom in the front row who taught her daughter how to suck dick!
I'm Mina Shirakawa. I used to be a model. I want to put on a big show.
Whoa!
And you're only here because even the feds saw through your bullshit.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by yours truly, the Renegade J.J. Williams. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. CM Punk drama bullshit to the side. I still consider Hangman the worst AEW champion they've had. First of all, we're going to bring in Walter Cruz.
I said that as a joke when, what's his name, did his promo Monday. He said, I'm from a prestige university. I said he majored in Steiner math.
We've got the Heb man, James Hebert, in the house.
I do really cool and dumb things on the internet.
Right. There's a lot of shit going on here. A lot of fucking crazy ass shit.
Where is Noah JD? Well, say his name and he appears because we believe in Noah Foster.
Fuck is this intro? It is one of those things where, as fans, we do have these desires of what we want to see, but sometimes you can't always get what you want, and there are reasons you truly don't get what you want. I wouldn't even listen to this in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. What the fuck is this shit? God, rap is whack. Like I said, never been a greater time to be a wrestling fan than with more companies in a more lucrative spot, in a more comfortable business spot, in a sense of mind, it seems, than ever. Again, WWE is not the only one. It is not the end-all, be-all. So let's go back to the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams to get the official word. JJ, speak!
Make sure you tune in every week because you never know who's going to drop in to join the shenanigans. Catboy is in the house.
Hello, my internet family. I say if you want to make them as evil as possible, make them really mad.
We have Mansfield joining the party now. What is going on, Josh?
Like I told no one when we were in Cleveland, him joining JCU was just an unfortunate side effect of my shenanigans towards you, JJ. I know how it can get better, Noah. The panel chooses you.
Shut the fuck up, Josh.
He said that so like.
They got someone to throw back.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just think how you and I had lunch together the other week.
That was different.
Ladies and gentlemen, the King is here. Say his name and he appears. We believe in King A-Train. There are so many believers in Joe Hendry. The only person on this panel that doesn't believe in Joe Hendry is King A-Train. Tell the world why you do not believe in Joe Hendry.
The reason I do not believe Joe Hendry is he is Fandango 2.0 in a entrance merchant. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Hey! There's nothing wrong with being an entrance merchant. He has some of the best entrances of all time.
Teleporting into the command center, all the way from Angel Grove High, Datilla.
Oh, yeah. I went to the command center on Thursday. I went to Vasquez Rocks, which is where they filmed a lot of episodes. Somebody actually climbed to the very top of those rocks. I made it halfway. I was like, I'm not going up there. Definitely Toni Storm versus Mariah May. That's the one match I probably am looking forward to the most. I really like the story. I'm familiar with All About Eve, so if it plays out that way, I kind of know how this is gonna go.
Say goodnight, Datilla.
Good night.
James, you did say his name. So he shall appear, ladies and gentlemen, the first time on the shenanigans. Jeff Meacham is in the motherfucking house.
Ah! Alright,
We're coming in hard with the botch. All right, fucking hell. It's good to be back. It's good to have an opportunity to talk to the crowd on a Saturday. If you want to have yourself stomach through it, you can go back and watch when the Main Event Mafia took over Impact. That's what James is talking about. So if everybody just joined us, we're talking about people sedating people, attempted murder, boys, and tips. Welcome to Saturday Shenanigans, everybody. Aren't you glad I'm back?
Welcome back, Jim.
Cool.
¿Qué tal? Feliz cumpleaños, Walter, de parte del reptil más fino y la Yesca. Subscribe to Rage of Wrestling on YouTube. Póngase verde.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the weekly moderated insanity that are the Saturday Shenanigans. I am your host extraordinaire, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, joined by the gaggle of misfits, Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz, who so graciously sat out of the interview to allow Nick a space on the panel. What is going on, Walter?
Nothing much. How's everything going? Long night for you guys.
Long day indeed, but you know what? It's just the beginning based off of what's going to be coming in about a month and a week. So got to get prepared for it. Speaking of getting prepared for it, the man who always shows up 5 minutes prior to showtime, but is going to have to run the pre-show panels, Noah Foster is here. What is going on, bruv? How are we doing tonight?
I must say, doing very well again. Shout out to Kyle McKenna, the Good Witch. Follow her, folks. Of course, as always, I do on my YouTube channel. Playlist will have, of course, her Instagram and her Twitter and her merch store in the description. And it's been a great week. I mean, nice study week of gaming, wrestling, as I always do. It's the balance of my mentality. Watched the CNLL show and the Pro Wrestling Eve show last night. Watched pretty decent show today, and looking forward to Wrestle Kingdom 8 tomorrow. And it's just been good vibes overall. So feeling good, despite the fact we're springing forward. So my attention span for ignorance is even shorter tonight. You've been warned. Other than that, I'm fine.
Fair enough, and I appreciate the forewarning, good sir. We also have the Fab Four, the fourth of the Fab Four, if you will, in the house, as James is here. Avatar man for now, as he just made himself some din-din, and he doesn't want to be slobby on the camera. So you know.
Well, no, I'm cooking din-din.
Oh, okay, he's cooking din-din.
As I'm in the conversation, hence why I switched to my phone.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, he is cooking dinner. But
well, it's either that or
considering
no
what
dinner.
We've been doing all day, I can't exactly fault him.
Yes, indeed.
And I will say, kind of off topic real quick, as we're bringing everybody in. I've been running Vengeance Day back as we've been doing the interview. That way I have a little bit of knowledge to talk about stuff. Zarya coming out in a t-shirt that says Souls X just popped me. I'm not going to lie. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
I mentioned that on the show. It popped me too.
We'll get into that when we get to the Vengeance Day stuff. We do have the man who started it all. Jeff Meacham is with us tonight.
Let's just blow smoke up my vocally impaired ass. There we go. I appreciate the ego trip. Thank you, Jay.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it is the truth. We all came together because of you. So
I know. So to review, I am at fault for MJF's existence and this shit. So thank you. You're welcome, IWC. You're welcome.
That's right. Just like right. Maui, what can you say except you're welcome?
Yeah, but I don't have near the popping pecs that Dwayne Johnson does, even in animated form. So well, did you just eat shit or what? What happened up there?
Little bit. I moved from my setup that I had during the interview to my bed where I'm more comfortable, and I'm trying to get the laptop stabilized here.
Well, there you go. And to the comment, if I'm the Adam, I don't even want to know who y'all label as the Eve, because that's just wrong. Just throwing that out. If I'm the Adam of this, I don't want to know who was my Eve, because I'm good. Thanks.
That's fair. Well, we also have two more people in the green room waiting to get in. It is the Canadian connection.
What,
both
bro?
waiting to come in. First, let's go ahead and bring in the guy who was here for the interview.
Yes.
You know, not to continue blowing smoke, but as we said a couple of times on the stream,
You earned it.
that interview would not have happened without the encounters that the Canadian King of Food and Smut have had with the Good Witch, the conduit of karma, Kaya McKenna. So, well done, good sir. You definitely earned your hockey stick tap tonight for your performance.
From
result of us not taking Austin Matthews from y'all asses, okay? Out there at the deadline. Y'all, you're welcome for not taking Austin Matthews away, motherfucker.
Hey, you're going to have to go back and watch the interview back because there was so much hockey talk.
I believe it.
And we have been giving Nick the hardest of times because he is a Maple Leafs fan.
Yes.
And as we all know, they have not won a cup since the Kings became a team.
She even chimed in.
So we've been giving him crap for the better part of the last 2 hours.
You know what, though, Jay? To be fair to Nick, the Maple Leafs have something in common with a very famous historical moment. Much like the Titanic, they are both at the bottom of the Atlantic. So
That's
damn.
Jeff, dude.
That is true. That is true.
Usually people
And I
say
will
there's
say-
always next year. I told them there's always next decade.
And this coming from a Kings fan, and we're near the bottom, and the Ducks are on top of our division. So fuck me anyway.
Oh, I mean, listen, that I thank you guys for all the hype, but I mean you guys listen. I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit. You know, y'all told me to keep it cool, keep it copacetic.
Yes.
But I'll be honest, through that whole thing, I was hyped. That was
we could tell, but you did a good job.
Listen, I love you boys. Thank you for that. Thank you for Walter for sitting out because I know he was probably the guy who sat. But shout out to her. Shout out to Kaya. She's a fucking. I'm gonna put it in hockey terms. She's a fucking beaut, buddy. She's a fucking beaut.
She's a fucking beaut. That's right.
She came on. Dude, that was an hour. I think that's the longest interview so far.
Seriously,
that is.
It is.
Like, she was coming. She was shooting the shit. She was having a good time. It looked like, and I'm happy. I'm happy that she enjoyed her time with us, and hopefully she takes it home.
Yeah.
To Connor and Rory, that's your girl, boys. That's your girl. She's the new champ.
To be honest, she was the one that took it off the rails with the hockey talk.
Well, as she do.
Well, that's what guests do on an interview. They take it in their own way after we set them up with something, and she did more than enough of that, and it was absolutely amazing. All the best, Kaya McKenna.
Now, where's my Canadian connection? Where's my girl? Where's the other one?
She's in the chat. She's waiting. Give me just a second here. I am multitasking, sir.
She's being paciente.
So yeah, she's being more patient than you are.
Which is surprising.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's yours. She's mine. She's our Canadian friend, Ash.
Hi.
Yay!
Hi, Ash.
Hello.
Hello, Ash. Good to see you. How are you this fine evening?
I'm doing good. It was game day with my mom.
There you go.
God bless mothers.
Here for it.
All right,
We were
well, good
playing
deal.
Monopoly with the computers on the Nintendo 64, and one of the computers ended up getting the things that I got. But luckily for me, I bankrupted his ass and I got all my railroads.
Tremendous.
Nice.
One of these days, Ash. One of these days, I will face you in Monopoly, and I will
Yes,
destroy you.
I will say this: I am nothing without my railroads.
Key for me is the red and orange corner. But before we take this to the video game world, and stay tuned, folks, we level up with Super Reliable Gaming here at Super Studios. Let's get back to the host, but good to see you.
Okay, so we have a lot to talk about this week.
Yes.
There's been a lot of developments across the sports and the entertainment, if you will. as I begin to get things ready in my messenger for other stuff a little bit later. But let me see here. I even forgot like half of the shit we're going to discuss here. So let me throw the graphic up real quick. Okay, so first things first,
here we go.
We do want to throw, like Nick said, we do want to give, as we do at the start of all these, another very special thank you to Kaya for all her time. Yeah. Follow her on her Instagram. Follow her on her X at Kaya MCK. That's how you can stay on top of where she's going to be, correspond with her, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. First thing I guess we'll get into is it was announced on the WWE side of things earlier this week that the Road Dogg Jesse James has stepped away from his position on SmackDown Creative.
What?
Apparently he was not fired. He made the decision himself from everything that's being reported, if you believe those that report the news for the wrestling side of things. But SmackDown has kind of been suffering here for a while. Ever since the Bloodline ceased being the focal point, SmackDown has kind of been a hot mess. No disrespect to the Canadian hot mess, Chelsea Green.
Salute that American leader.
We pledge allegiance to the hot mess. But what are everyone's thoughts about the Road Dogg walking away here? What do we want to see going forward from SmackDown? Where do we want the focus to be? Let's start with this, because I think this could be an interesting musing topic to kind of conversate about, because everyone's got their own opinions. We've got Nick here, who's mainly an AEW guy, doesn't really follow WWE. So it's like, well, what would it take to bring him back to stuff? We've got someone like you who only watches clips, don't sit through the 3 hours, and I don't blame you now that it's back to being 3 hours. Then you've got people like myself, Walter, and Jeff, who, when we remember or we're home and we're not working, we are tuned in. We are trying to stay on top of things. So everyone's going to have their own difference of perspective here as far as stuff. So ladies first, though. Ash, your thoughts on Road Dogg walking away. What is it that you'd like to see from the SmackDown as a brand, and where do you want to see the focus be going forward?
I'm surprised Road Dogg resigned or walked away, whatever the terminology is, because I thought he'd be there for life, given who he's friends with. Now that they stepped away and we're getting a new creative team, can we have more consistent booking and creative for, I don't know, the Women's United States Championship, aka the Chelsea title, and also for that tag division as well? Because oh my god, what they were doing with those divisions is just like, you have a stacked tag division and you ain't doing shit with them. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You got all the talent in the world and you're not doing anything with them. You're not building cohesive feuds, stories. What are we doing with this division? Same with the women. We need to book Julia better. Also, we got to get our opponents lined up as well, because it's just a barren wasteland right now. That's what it feels like to me anyway, as someone who loves women and tag teams. That's what I want to see out of SmackDown, at least. Because that's what got me into watching SmackDown when I did, was the tag division.
That's a fair shout. The two things that I've always been a huge proponent of are women's wrestling. Obviously, as we had Kaya McKinnon, we've been featuring a lot of independent wrestling women talent here recently. And tag teams. When I got into professional wrestling, granted, it was The Rock who really reeled me in, and specifically The Rock versus Triple H that ladder match at SummerSlam 98 that captivated me. But the New Age Outlaws, the Acolytes, the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, the tag team division, Kai and Tai even,
Indeed.
The Hollies. That was what was really my focus. When I got into wrestling and when I started, I won't say training because I never was professionally trained, but when I started backyard wrestling and kind of learning the ropes, tag team was where I wanted my focus to be. I never had the desire to be a main event player. I never had a desire to be the champion, even though I would become a multi-time champion in my Fed. Tag team is always what I wanted to be because I loved the Hardys and everything. That's why one of my early gimmicks was Sean Hardy, the illegitimate cousin of the Hardys. So I totally co-sign with you there. SmackDown has got a tremendous tag division. They just don't fucking showcase it.
Right?
And especially now that Ciampa is out chasing Sylvie and not Goldie anymore, you've already lost half a DIY. What are they going to do with Gargano? Mm-hmm. That's a whole other conversation that could be had at some point. And people on the spaces are already talking about, when his contract is up in August, because that's the rumor is it expires in August, him and his wife are going to go across the street to AEW. And I'm like, please let Candace go across the street. Get her off of my weekly television. But that's a whole other conversation. I see Jeff over there like, God damn it, I can't be on one show, just one, where he doesn't fucking give Candice LeRae some shit. But Nick, we'll go ahead and go to you as somebody who really doesn't watch WWE. What would it take for SmackDown to kind of bring you back to watching on a weekly basis?
I don't know. I think it needs to be not, and this is just me, right? I feel like it's too overproduced for me. Like I can't deal with the overhype, the overproduction of it. I mean, that's probably a hype. I'm being hypocrite because AEW's production, but I don't know. I don't get the just the over the commercials, the 20-minute entrances. Like, miss me with that.
Okay, but in all fairness, we're asking what would it take to bring you back to SmackDown. We're not asking for your criticisms on SmackDown.
I don't think there is anything that can bring me back. I think it's just too far gone to where it is. And not to say that that's not a bad thing or a good thing. I just think it's... I've tried watching some WWE events with us and even on watch-alongs. It's just not for me. And I don't think there's anything they can do. I don't think there's really anything they can do to get me back into there. Honestly, I don't think there is.
Okay. I mean, I'd like to think that there's a way to bring everybody back. If I'm being honest, I thought AEW lost me forever after the whole brawl in, brawl out stuff. But I ended up coming back. So I'd like to think that there's ways that it could bring you back, and maybe it would be having to be different enough from what you see on Raw. Not having the long, drawn-out entrances, to be some of the things to help bring you back.
Probably.
Because I think the long, drawn-out entrances are more so for pay-per-view than anything. It's not really part of the TV product, because a 15-minute entrance takes away, a good quarter of an hour. That's too much to be taken away from weekly television. It's one thing to do it on a PLE and kill time, but it's another thing to do it every week. So
Yeah, not even, and you know what? Like, they have some new roster members. You know, Oba's there. Royce Keys is there.
have we decided exactly what brand Oba is, or is he still kind of bouncing back and forth?
Bouncing.
Is he? There's some, like, there's good stuff on there. It's just not anything that it's particularly interesting to me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's for me, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't. You know what? If Kaya McKenna showed up on SmackDown, I'm there. No, but there's nothing. I don't think there was big mark. But at the end of the day, yeah, no, I don't think that there's anything there that they could do.
And in fairness, I'm going to allow that one to slide, you know, because I asked you not to be a mark on the air with her, and you weren't. So I'll allow the little markiness to come out right there, so.
No, thank you. That's sorry, that's my long-winded answer. If I don't really think there is anything that can kind of get hockey gimmick. Somebody do a hockey gimmick. I might be into it.
So you want the Goon to come back?
That's what I was just.
Gonna say.
Yeah,
Bill,
let's not bring the Goon back, please. The Goon was a terrible idea from bad creative, please.
It was 1995, dude. Like, relative. Okay.
Relative still sucked.
95, there was a garbage man, a hockey player.
Hey, you know what? If it wasn't in the ECW around 1995, it was pretty much all hard garbage. If we're being, and even some of that was garbage.
But I mean, this is where it's different, and this is probably the best way I can explain it. I don't never see WWE doing a hockey gimmick or anything hockey related in their programming, right? I don't see it. I could be wrong. But then you had AEW do it with Edge and Christian when they both put on their jerseys.
Okay. So there's a couple things there. First of all, Canadians. Okay. And they did do a hockey thing in WWE. If you remember Steen, goddamn, how old am I? Owens and Zayn in the hockey jerseys in a street fight. They're not going to go full gimmick. It's not going to happen.
That's yeah.
But you know, if it did, the extreme left in the middle here would pop for it. You know, for sure.
And every time they had a hardcore match in Canada, they always pulled out a hockey stick. They always did something.
Well, that's just that's you have to. It's the law.
That's true. I can vouch for that because the second AEW show I went to in Winnipeg, when they had a street fight with Shibata and Jericho, one of the weapons used were hockey pucks.
Yes.
I freaking
went into the bag like it's usually thumbtacks, and it was a bag full of hockey pucks.
Oh my God.
I remember that.
So hard in the arena.
Anybody that's held a hockey puck, a legit one, knows that's evil as shit.
I'm tempted to carry one in my purse for protection, to be real with y'all.
As you should, when you got a hockey puck in your purse, Jesus.
Well, that's like an American woman carrying a brick. You know, consistency.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Guns aren't easily accessible here in Canada. That's the next best thing I could use.
Also fair. Unless you're Sensational Sherry or Misty Hyatt and you're wrestling in Canada, then you're okay. Then
always beat people with hockey sticks.
Oh my God. I like, there was one time where our house almost got broken into, and my dad was so mad. He grabbed the nearest thing, which happened to be my brother's hockey stick, and he was just ready to come out the door swinging. My mom had to be like, "It's okay, it's fine." Like, she had to calm down.
We have like walking sticks at the front door, but there's also like several hockey sticks. JJ will attest to that. It's like we don't fuck around.
Yeah,
like,
and that's golden. The fact that a Canadian went for a weapon and it just happened to be a hockey stick just pops me so big.
That's how that happens, Sam. That's a pop.
I love that, Ash.
Not freaking obvious.
Okay, well, we'll go down to the bottom here. If he's done coughing up a lung, Jeff.
Yeah. Well,
I know you're getting over being sick, so if you have to mute or take a moment, by all means, you know.
I will say I'm gonna be quasi like the country song. I don't want tequila to make their coals fall off. I want tequila to get the shit out of my system. So we're gonna down the tequila. It doesn't look like tequila, I promise, but it is. Thank you, DJ, for the and once again, please go out and support our local businesses and buy Terramana tequila, because God knows that man needs the money.
I know, struggling guy that Dwayne Johnson is. $7 in his pocket.
My God, he's just trying to get by in this world, man. He's only got the tequila,
So sad.
and the skincare products, and the energy drink, and anyway. But you can't get back on WrestleMania. Thanks, Dwayne. Fucker. Anyway, I'm a dick, I know. So I'm mixed about Road Dogg's stepping away. I happen to be one of the few that like Brian,
as do I,
in that role. Had the opportunity to not work with him, but interact with him more than once over the years. Easy there, Baba Louie. You good?
Hmm?
Are you off mute on purpose, or are you just eating over me?
Oh, did I come off mute? My apology.
James, you freaking idiot!
I didn't know it was on. I didn't know.
James, please don't ever change, but try to do that shit. Anyway,
all right. Let me mute.
Love you though. Yeah, I even liked him in the writer's role. I think it's another example of a couple things. One, too many of the old guard are still around, and people don't like that.
Yeah.
Brian was very much in his Vince's inner circle as he is with Hunter's. He is I wouldn't call him a fall guy, because he did step away on his own. But it wouldn't have surprised me if he was asked to step away either. I'll say that. I'm not trying to be Mr. Conspiracy Guy, just calling it like I see. The other thing, I don't know if one person stepping away is going to do enough to bring back regular viewership. You mentioned me in the category of if I'm home and if I'm able, if I have time, I'll watch it. That is not the case with SmackDown. I did watch SmackDown last night because some dipshit spoiled it for me. Nobody in this room or in our circle of people, thankfully. There's a random ass person I didn't even know was a fan. Hey, did you see Cody win the title? I'm like, I haven't yet. Fucker. But I did watch the whole show anyway, because I wanted to see the moment. And I don't know if... I think there's so much already built up. This is lame. I wish Vince was back. Blah, blah, blah. And now that Cody is once again the champion, people are forgetting that we've been for Cody versus Randy Orton for like over 10 years. And they just want to bitch instead.
I don't think it's that as much. I'm going to push back a little bit, as it is the fact that we don't need a title for that feud.
And I agree with that.
Like Cody versus Randy is something that could just be Randy capitalized on Cody, eliminating him from the chamber to win the opportunity. Let's start setting up Randy versus Cody based off of that. And why does Cody have to be the champion?
I don't disagree with that. Two things, though. What do you do with Cody creatively if you don't have him in the championship match? Because honestly, they have not built a backup plan for him creatively. They haven't. And that's part of the problem with creative in general. They don't seem to have if this happens, we need to do this. They've been pivoting so much because of injury that they feel like they should have to pivot for anything. Again, observation, not knowledge. And the other thing is him being champion and facing Orton and Randy. Oh God, Drew got screwed. He should resign. I saw somebody. I was what the hell is Corbin's name now?
Bishop Dyer.
Bishop, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Bishop Dyer cooked this motherfucker on Twitter. It was so good. Oh, Drew should resign. Yeah, he should walk away because of a storyline instead of collecting a $3 million a year check. It's like, you fucking, those are the marks. Those people piss me off. It's just like, guys, he's getting paid well. He's not the champion, even though he was. Okay. If Drew McIntyre honestly pushed back enough, they would have made a different decision because they value Drew McIntyre. Just because we as fans, don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening, guys. And I try so hard now whenever I go on social media to talk about wrestling at all. I try very hard to go from that perspective. We don't know a goddamn thing they don't want us to know. Period. So I put the post out yesterday. Whatever else you've heard, we know what's official for WrestleMania. The 2 world title matches from each gender, Brock's Open Challenge, and the Hall of Fame. That's what we know. Everything else is subjective, conjecture, and guesswork. We have no fucking idea what's going to happen on Raw or SmackDown or NXT or Evolve, whatever. And that's why it's great to be a wrestling fan, because you don't know. That's what the difference is for me with the wrestling fans versus the internet wrestling community. And I'm a part of it. I'm fucking, I'm the one that started all this. I got blamed for that shit at the top of this show. So it is what it is. But for me, Brian's departure signals to me that maybe the WWE is feeling the pressure, and whatever else he has ever said or is saying now over the years, Hunter hears it. And he does react to it. So I really think that Brian's decision to walk away is indicative and reflective of, okay, we're going to do this and see how it goes.
That's a fair assessment there. James, we'll go up the middle to you.
Oh, bad timing.
Bad timing? Okay, we'll go to Walter.
I burnt my mouth.
All right, it's not just the first point that what he just said. It's not just that it didn't need the title. To me, it's if this is where you were going, why did Cody lose the title in the first place? You should have just left it like this, because now you kind of gave away the ending, because Cody going to lose the title in less than a month to Randy Orton now. You kind of know the result now. But it's not only that. It's like going to Vegas, you drove and you drove all back roads and no highway. If that was your destination, you took a weird way to get there. Like you took the longest way possible. Go ahead, Jeff. I'll let you respond before.
But again, to reiterate my point, why do we know? How do we know for sure? Oh, Randy's gonna win. We don't know that. I'm with
Jeff on that.
I'm just like, okay, you take the title off Cody because it wasn't expected in the 2 out of 3, the 3 stages of the Hell match. Oh, Cody will overcome. He always does. And then, Drew said, you're never going to get a shot at me again. Oh, well, they won't. It was a matter of, they will never. And they keep doing it anyway. If we don't know, then we don't know. I'm getting so much like Virtue is scaring me at this point. I would love it if Cody won at WrestleMania and just pissed everybody off that doesn't want him to win. I personally want to see Randy Orton get the 15th, but I also would love the shit out of it if people walked out of that stadium on night 1 just pissing up a rope about it that Cody won. I would.
Mm-hmm. I think deep down inside is the counter to the low ticket sales and stuff. They figured that when Cody was the golden boy, things were moving, and it's like after they pivoted, I just feel like it's more of a safety net thing, to be honest.
Well, I would love, and I don't know if they'll ever provide this, a breakdown of how were overall numbers on tickets, merch, all the things between WrestleMania 40 and WrestleMania 41, and then WrestleMania 41 to SummerSlam, and then SummerSlam to now. Because I don't necessarily believe it's Cody on top that's driving the tickets, or Cody not being on top driving the ticket sales down, or the merch, or the numbers down. And again, I know I'm talking over my time, and I'm sorry, but I've been pent up for a couple weeks, so I didn't get to do the fucking interview last week either because of bullshit. So it's I really feel like there's something else that's causing the indifference almost. Like, people were so overhyped from my perspective. And I was at WrestleMania when it was here in LA 3 years ago. And people were so cockfire sure that Cody was going to walk out of there the champion, and he didn't. And people were so cockfire sure that the story was going to dwindle off. And instead, WrestleMania 40, the ending was the craziest goddamn 10 minutes in the history of WWE.
Yep.
But after that is when people went, eh. You know, I personally think, and again, I'm not trying to compare my like of one or the other to the other. Cody's very much in that Hangman Adam Page position. They love to watch him chase, but now he's got it. Okay. Great.
Yeah. I think it's more about making him this many time champion.
Which is also
kind of what they did Charlotte. Like to have it boosted up there. But
yeah. And
in terms of the SmackDown, I'm not shocked. If you watch them real, I don't know how many you watch them, you can kind of see the tension that Brian had with certain things like the R-Truth situation and other situations. So I'm not surprised if he didn't indeed quit, and I'm not on the conspiracy either, Jeff. I kind of agree with you. I feel like they were like, it's better if you just quit now before something happens, and then he just decided to leave, you know? Considering who his friends are and stuff. So what I want to do with SmackDown, you got 3 hours to work with. You have this AAA deal. I would really like to see you kind of dedicate certain hours to certain things. Like you use the third hour to promote all your main events and all your things. Well, let me put it like this. The first thing I like to do is stop pretending like the show isn't complete. You don't know what the fuck you're doing, and the segment starts, and then you go, well, you know what? Tonight the main event's going to be this, because it makes it look like you incomplete and don't know how to write a show. We all know that it's predetermined, and it's a written show, and you fucking knew it was going to happen before the beginning. When you constantly do this, you look like you never had a main event in the first place. So it kind of looks stupid when they keep doing that over and over again, starting the show, and that starts, oh, this is going to be the main event. You should have known that before the fucking people arrived in the building. So like that, they need to stop doing. But in terms of the third hour should be all your main event stuff and promoting the WrestleMania. I feel like hour 1 or 2 you can dedicate to all the luchadores. You have a lot of luchador people signed. Start showcasing that and have like the fast, almost like you used to do the cruiserweight division. Have AAA versus WWE and the Mexican mass wrestlers. Showcase that. Then the next hour, dedicated to all the women's storylines. Have all the women there now. Now you're doing your women's U.S. title, your women's tag. Shine the light on that. And then the third one is where you can have all your chaos and your main events and everything. I feel like they should just split it up like that. And then that way everybody gets their fix of what they like in wrestling, and you can decide what you do. You can mix it up. You don't have to do all 1 hour women, all women. You can mix it up, but I feel like that is what you should kind of do. And I would love to see them do that with SmackDown. Actually, they could do it with Raw, too. I would love it if they did something like that.
At this point, do you want to just tag team? Because you are literally saying everything I was about to say anyway. Because, okay, I'll tell you this right now, all right? There's one thing I want to say right out of the gate, okay? I will say... and this is just, I'm not saying that people shouldn't have the right to complain if they've never done it before, because God knows the whole reason is you're trying to please your audience with your creative, right? I've been fortunate enough to do some unfortunate enough to do some creative for a company that no longer exists. And if you know, you know. And I'll tell you right now, it is a fucking hard task, right? That's number one.
100%.
So, it is not something that is cracked up to be. Creative is a very difficult mistress to master. So I don't envy anybody in that position anymore, and I get it now. I didn't get it before, but I get it now because now I've had my own failure at it. Now, that said, one of my strengths is going to what worked, and exactly what you said is they need to segment the show They need to make it feel more action-paced to go along with what you were saying, Walter. None of these long, drawn-out fucking entrances that make the show feel like a goddamn eternity in a drag. Action. And it should be the wrestling show. The reason the original brand split in WWE in 2002 worked the first time is because Raw was the sports entertainment show where it was all about the angles and it was all about the storylines and the big names, and SmackDown was the professional wrestling show. Now, I'm not saying you segregate, women and light heavyweights like they did back then, but, do more of that. Like, I liked when Raw and SmackDown were both bringing in, AAA guys. They should bring in some TNA guys like they did with Leon Slater. That makes things feel a little bit more interesting. Spice it up, bring in some international talent, make it feel like the wrestling show. And then you make Raw about the big angles, the big stars. That's what made the brand split work back then. The only reason it stopped working is because they tried to fix something that was already, flawless. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Really. They should go back to why it worked before and then do that and replicate it to the stars that they have now. And I feel, it works every time. I've seen every other company try to do this. And it doesn't have to be like one for one like it was in 2002. But I've seen other companies like segment their show with different types of flavors of wrestling. I've seen it in the indies. You also need big angles on SmackDown too. I'm not saying you have to have it totally pro wrestling related, right? You need your main event stars like a Cody Rhodes or a Drew McIntyre or a Randy Orton. But, one of the big things that I think they need to do is make it feel unpredictable, which they finally started doing on that front, And to Jeff's point, we don't know where the hell that's going to go. Hell, McIntyre could win because he's finally owed his freaking win at WrestleMania in a stadium. God fucking forbid. So, we don't know what's going to happen with that now. And that made the championship match a lot more unpredictable, which it wasn't before these title switches. And honestly, it was a fucking shot in the arm they sorely needed. Keep that up and also, segment your shows like Walter said and make everything feel more action-paced and don't make it feel like a drag to sit through. And also, please stop with this LED crap. It actually makes... I'm not saying you don't have any LEDs at all, but make the shows feel different and stop making it feel samey. I hate that shit. I hated it in 2008 when they went to the HD model. I hate it now. Just make things look different. I missed the silver aprons for SmackDown. I missed the black aprons for fucking Raw. I think that shit looks so cool. So, simple improvements that I feel like could really give SmackDown a boost to make people want to tune in from a standpoint of a wrestling fan and a casual fan. These changes can definitely help things. And, again, if it worked in 2002, if it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. My opinion.
I think the bigger question, James, is do they remember why it worked in the first place?
Because they segmented everything out.
No. We know why it worked.
Yeah.
Do they remember why it worked?
If they don't,
that's
they need
the question.
If
it's 23 years ago, 24 years ago.
Exactly. To your point. If they don't remember, then they need to put somebody who did and knows. And that is... Maybe that's what it is, too. Maybe it's just, and fair enough, this industry can suck the soul out of you as well as bring you a lot of fucking joy, trust. I've been on both ends of that. So maybe they just need to bring in somebody that's not as fucking jaded. No pun intended to Jay Cargo, who's on SmackDown.
So you can find me at rowjjwilliams@gmail.com.
Hire JJ.
They need to mix it up better and just put a better product out there, especially if you're going to charge these ridiculous prices. It's like they're charging these prices based on the name WWE alone without thinking about the shitty product they're putting out in front of you. Like the Memphis fucking Grizzlies cannot charge the same ticket prices as a fucking Boston Celtics or a Los Angeles Lakers. Like you can't. Well, in other sports you can't do that. Like the fucking Kings can't, or I say the Blue Jays and shit can't charge the same kind of prices as a Red Sox, like based on the name. You have to have a good product and an actual good team before you start fucking having people pay up the wazoo to go see you live. Sorry.
To be totally fair to your point though, and I'm gonna push back on it a little bit, Walter. I think even if they put on their best effort, and they have, by the way, I'm not saying WWE hasn't produced some pretty damn good shows this year. I can even admit that. It's not worth the fucking price. There's no way you can realistically justify, and Nick knows where I'm going because he heard this on TISM this week. There's no way you could justify basically paying the equivalent of a down payment on a house to go to one of these shows, even if they were at their best, like they were in 2002 with this brand split shit.
I get what you're saying, but at least create the illusion that you're trying to justify it.
Yeah, like you can't. Well, no, and not even that. Because honestly, if they did bring down the prices to a more affordable level and put in creative to the effort that they thought that people would pay, then you got people wanting to go to these shows again. It's really not that hard. Like, it's really a 1-2 punch here. Nobody can justify this shit. Nobody, even at their best level, they can't. I know I sure as hell can't.
Especially in this day and age. You know why you can't justify it, to be honest? Because after the pandemic, people got used to being home. People don't want to go out. You really got to drag people out of their house. We all got too comfortable being in the house and everything when the world shut down, that when it reopened up, it was kind of abnormal to go out. It's like people got used to being in the house. So it's like you got to really justify pulling us out.
Yeah, it's got to be affordable too. It's got to be affordable. And that's where it's like, props to Tony. Props to anybody that is following that model and not upcharging like a crazy amount in the wrestling scene, because like that's what's ultimately going to bring them back into the dance as a viable competitor again, is because their prices are fucking affordable. And don't
like
cost
that sign on
Dynamite.
There was a sign on Dynamite that said I didn't have to sell my kidney to come here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's true though. It's true. I've been calling this since they fucking started doing it back in like what? Beginning of 25? Literally have been calling this to the letter that this was going to happen. And it's only gotten worse since then. It's going to continue to get even worse as they go to fucking Saudi next year for Mania. It's only going to get worse unless we make a fucking stink about it.
All right.
And not pay with wallet. But yeah.
I think we went a little off trail, and I can see JJ's off screen, so I'll just say we'll go to Noah next.
Yes.
Go ahead, Noah.
I'm here. I was just snacking on some Cheez-Its. Didn't
all
know
right.
on camera.
Cheez-Its are good.
But yes, go ahead, Noah. It's on you.
Okay, so let's just get things clear here, considering this turned into a Mad Money conversation for the last 50 minutes. And yes, the timer started. You got 1 hour left, especially with me springing forward. I ain't hanging around on that with this bullshit. Okay, so we're spinning the broken record of WWE Creative. What can draw me back in? The answer is nothing. At this point, you have to go about what you enjoy. You can't go back to something that doesn't bring you that same level of joy. The only reason I keep up with WWE to a degree, support the workers, not the company, is because there's workers there I care about. If it wasn't for the fact that we also have to cover this shit, and I'm the freaking play-by-play guy under virtual contract for it, I probably would watch it even less, considering that every segment has wrestlers or superstars that I give two shits about. The bottom line is this: your creative's bad, you realize it. Your creative's content, though, you're going to keep following it. And as long as the money keeps pouring in, our words mean jack shit. Yes, they pivoted. Cody Rhodes is now a 3-time WWE Undisputed Champion. Who decided that decision? Who made that decision? Was everyone happy with that decision? Your guess is as good as mine. But if nothing else, here we are 1 hour later, bringing it forward with conversation, figuring it was based on creative, figured it had something to do with Road Dogg no longer being involved, quote unquote, involved in that creative position, rounding back to the topic to begin with. So as far as Road Dogg and his contributions, whether or not they were useful, whether or not they were pitiful, and whether or not he decided for his own mentality to get the fuck away from it, that is entirely inside the WWE ecosystem for no one to know unless they choose to say it from their own mouth truthfully, and we never will know. And as far as bringing me back, WWE has not having my full attention with the red and blue brands since insert year here. The last time that I was incorporated, invested, engaged in WWE to the highest degree, and that is undisputed, was Black and Gold NXT, and it died a horrible death during the pandemic. So no, the answer is no. There's nothing they could do to draw me back in full time, but I would never give up on it fully, completely, because I do believe there is potential, hope, and I want to see those workers I follow actually succeed even underneath this company. Support the workers, not the company, but they will never get my full investment again.
Amen. I get it.
All righty then. That kind of went off on a tangent that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And all it took was a head writer quitting.
Yep. Well, I mean, why did the head writer quit?
To get to the other side.
Yeah, really. Like, it's like, it's really that simple. You kind of relate it back to the fucking corporatization of what they're doing. It's sad, but it's true. No, it is what it is.
Well, we will move along then to an AEW topic, as I do have a conversation piece for WWE, AEW, and TNA this week before we get into our recaps of watch-alongs.
Ah.
AEW this week featured the Iconics, the Inspiration in tag team action, getting squashed in like a minute.
That's about right.
Noah, I will start with you on this one since you went last time.
Well, like I said,
what did you think of this match? You know, it's hard to even call it a match considering it was less than a minute.
What is a match versus presentation? What is a match versus a presence? What is a match versus opportunity for the only longest going legitimate tag team on women's wrestling in America that I can remember that are treated as a joke in WWE and actually made TNA relevant for those red strats for a time being? The way I see it is this: it's the slow burn. The Inspiration, they have a presence known on the wrestling scene. Maybe not to one AEW, but it also was that internationality. Their goofy ideas behind their identities was perfect against the mesh of the Brawling Birds for our first time showcase. Keyword, showcase. How long before the last legitimate tag team in WWE actually won the tag straps on the most iconic stage of them all, WrestleMania 35? It's a slow burn. For me, it just goes to show that, again, you could have all sorts of flavors in AEW. Not every match needs to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 25 minutes, and not every first impression needs to be a lasting one with a long duration. It's a slow burn. And the way I see it, the Iconics, they are the newest tag team on the scene, but they have that recognition. So it's a slow burn before I think they get the opportunities that they deserve. Much like High End in My World, much like if you all saw Collision tonight, the mega towers that now exist in all elite wrestling. If you know, you know, folks. I'm extremely happy for the Iconics Inspiration that are part of the only company right now on the main front with, hey, here's a hot take, an actual women's tag team division. So I'm very glad they got that first impression, and I got a chance to see them perform on Dynamite. And again, maximize your minutes or maximize your seconds. I'm curious how many more of these type of situations I see where their mouth willows their ass and I get to laugh while watching them compete in the ring before they're taken seriously. You get one first impression and you go from there. And everyone knows what the accounts are all about if you follow them in WWE or in TNA. This didn't surprise me in the slightest. And the Brawling Birds right now, they're my definition of hard-hitting entertainment. I honestly want to see this develop maybe into a feud with them. So I'm curious to see where this goes. I have no negative reproof towards the Inspiration having their 1 minute moment on Dynamite with the more established names of Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. And Mr. Booking over here should think otherwise too, why he supports the ground of certain people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Noah on this too. Like, I think it was fine. Yeah.
Just the IWC seems to be up in a roar about it. You're muted, Jeff. I don't know if you're talking to us or to somebody else.
You know I don't acknowledge that, JJ.
No, I know that, but that's the whole point of bringing this conversation piece up, though, is that a lot of people seem to be in an uproar about the minute defeat. You know, their first match on TNA, they win the Knockouts tag straps.
Pay-per-view.
Their first match on AEW, they're squashed in a minute.
Television.
You know?
It's like, and the whole gimmick is that they're too cocky anyway. They got their comeuppance in a division that's stacked. Stack ED. Okay? Like, it's not, like, to what Noah said, of course, if they got cocky, they were going to lose in under a minute. That's their character. That's their gimmick. It has not changed in every company they have stepped through, from WWE to TNA, now to AEW. Give it some fucking time, people. Jesus almighty goddamn Christ. I'm done.
Nice interception there, and for once, I approve it.
All righty. I'm sensing passion, but I'm also sensing some pent-up frustration from some people. It's like, I'm just the moderator, y'all. Like,
no, we're not mad at you.
It feels like there's anger being taken out here. Jesus.
No. Well, to be fair, hold on, James, shut the fuck up. The suit's talking. To be fair, I've followed the Inspiration their entire career through NXT, learning about their career, going all the way to high school. These two have been the legitimate women's tag team, and they've been treated like dog shit when they were in the WWE. I thought they had potential there. Even after winning the titles, they didn't do jack shit with them in their freaking fourth incarnation. Here's the incarnation number, and you just lost another tag team as we're just dropping flies here. What they did in TNA, it restored the tag team titles for a duration. And now they got one team that holds the straps just because we don't have nothing else for them to do. How elegant. So, again, it's an outlook from me who follows talent, not companies, and knows what Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay are all about. The former Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, of course.
Yeah, like, and to be fair, we're also not mad at you, JJ. We're just mad at the people that decide to make this a non-issue when it really isn't an issue. Because we know,
James, every wrestling conversation could be a non-issue if you have the IWC as your feedback.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jeff, are you able to speak at this point? Okay, go ahead.
So I didn't know they got squashed. I'm not surprised. It's stupid. Look, I get why based on the team they faced, but for me, and I don't know who went out of whose way. Did Cassie and Jessica seek out AEW, or did Tony seek them out? If they sought a job, then whatever, they're going to get jobbed out. But if Tony brought them in, why would you have a team with that much history and that much fan support job out like that? Like that for me, that doesn't make any sense. Even if it is against, they were up against Jamie and
Windsor.
Like, I get they're strapping the rocket to those girls' asses. Like, I understand that, right? But for me, if you're bringing in Cassie and Jess, like, you've got to do better by them. If that's the case, if they were looking for work, and again, were they unhappy in TNA? Like, I don't understand that.
Yes,
we don't know, Jeff. All I know
I was going to say, James, we don't know. Did you speak to Peyton or Jessica?
No, not personally.
Again,
okay, so you don't know.
Yeah, I try so hard. Okay, if anybody's spoken to them, great. If not, yeah, I hear it. A lot of reason why I don't engage in the online discourse unless I'm appearing on camera and having my own opinion based on facts anymore, just because it's not worth my time. I'm not saying that wasn't worth it. God, find the line between being a dick and knowledgeable. Such a fucking ass. Anyway, I hate this shit.
Hate the show, Jeff.
I hate the show, Jay. That's right.
I don't have to worry about that shit.
But yeah, as a fan of both of them, I don't understand it. Other than the need to further the pushing of Windsor and breathing over me and
Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter.
I know who I was thinking of. I just couldn't think because I'm hearing it from your feed, dude. You gotta mute when you're not talking, brother. Love you.
Sure.
You gotta mute when you're not talking.
That's two, James. Continue, Jeff.
I mean, I'm doing it because I'm sick as shit.
That's different.
Yeah, I guess my opinion is I don't really have one of strength because I don't understand it.
I will give you kind of context because I feel like context is important here. Do you remember, and this is the only thing I can compare this to, do you remember when Chelsea Green first debuted in the Royal Rumble? And how over she got with her annoying character?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is very similar to that with the inspirations in AEW. So this is going to lead to a longer term thing with them, I would hope.
Okay.
The way they kind of had them lose, it was like they were cocky, then they got beat.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. That is a big difference there.
And it also was picked up from the house show down under in Australia when they announced they were all elite at Brisbane Rules.
Yes. So
yeah, and doing the announcement there is helpful to them because that's where they stay, if you will.
Yes.
So yeah, I again, if that's the full context of it, then okay. If it's designed to put heat on their characters, then that's one thing. Then okay, let's see where it goes after this week. If they continue the decline based on the characters' response to it, and they're basically getting put in their place, then okay, great. As long as it goes somewhere. And again, this goes back to, I'm not going to praise anybody on the other channel a whole lot, but before his attendance became a thing, TJS was always fond of saying, patience, let it play out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like JJ's long-term storytelling because I don't really see a full story happening out of this with them, right?
No.
But having patience, and I understand having patience as a pro wrestling fan is a bitch. But if we're gonna actually be able to pull a Foster and sit back and enjoy this shit, we gotta be patient.
Yeah. Like, how long did it take for the Attitude Era to really kick into full fucking swing? You know what I mean? It didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, and then on the other side of that, when it died, it was fucking murdered point blank range.
Right.
Because it flipped. So we have to be patient. And especially if we're fans of these two, which I am, I know a lot of people in this room are, one loss is not going to kill them as long as the story and the reasoning behind it is solid. Based on what I've heard in the last few minutes, I am willing to be patient.
Good.
Yes.
To Safet's point in the chat, let's flip this here. If the Young Bucks go to WWE and are squashed in under a minute, completely different conversation.
Because I'm the one leading the parade.
Well, to be fair, we have personal heat, but I'm talking about the IWC.
I know.
It's a completely different conversation.
And it is. You're absolutely right.
That's where I feel like this is hypocritical.
Okay. Okay. I'll grant that. Here's the thing. And again, buy that shirt if you can find it anywhere. From my vantage point, Cassie and Jess have not voiced a complaint against WWE or TNA that I've seen or heard that wasn't valid. So for that to be the counter argument that, well, if the Bucks did this, whatever. The Bucks created this company bitching about WWE, bitching justifiably about the way they were treated in TNA, based on the fact that they couldn't get fuck all bookings outside of the indies because of whatever politics. At the time AEW formed, I had their back on that, even though they were already starting to be the young fucks at that point. Okay, but to my knowledge, Cassie and Jess haven't done anything remotely like that to either WWE or TNA.
Nope.
So if AEW is bringing them into, we're going to bury the former Fed guys, then that's fucked up on their part. If WWE were to bring in the Bucks just to squash them, first of all, that's bad business. And I don't know anybody personally, but I don't think the amount of payout and the lack of business that would draw from it would warrant the petty of that.
No.
I don't think so from the WWE's perspective anyway. But for the assumption to be, and again, I don't know, and based on the story that was told on television as far as they're being cocky and they got put in their place for being bitches, I don't see it the same way.
No.
Fair enough.
I don't either.
And yeah, and to your point, Jay, if they're going to be to the Bucks, I'd be the first one buying a ticket just to watch and laugh. I'm a petty fuck like that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Admittedly.
Pettiness and subterfuge drives the business so much.
It is one of the few days I won't post the "Don't be a dick" statement because I will go to that show, pay for ringside tickets, and go, you fuckers, if they got me.
And you dick.
100%. Nick,
Well,
it's on
in your
you, sir.
case, Jeff, I guess there's a time and place to be a dickhead, and it's justified. For me, I don't know so much.
And it's also undisputed.
And Noah, you are a better person than me, and I will always state that claim. There are very few people in wrestling that would still draw that person out of me, but Matt and Nick Jackson definitely do.
Fair enough.
Speaking of Nick, it's on you, sir.
I don't mind it. Listen, they're building a women's tag team division. Like, obviously, you're gonna bring in a tag team. Like, it kind of, I think 1 and 1 makes 2. So, I mean, you're bringing them in to bolster your tag division that you have put all the stock in. I get it with everybody saying, "Oh, but they can't wrestle." You know how many people you've heard say, "Oh, they can't wrestle," and maybe they should drop the tagline that we're the best wrestle. Like, guys, they just got here. Whatever they've done in the past is irrelevant because they're at a company where they have to wrestle. So,
and they can.
Damn right.
So let's give them, like, I have a personal rule. I have an 8-match rule. Let's give them 8 matches. Let's see how they do. And after that, we can start critiquing them. But until they wrestled an actual match, I wouldn't call what they did with the Brawling Birds an actual match. I would consider it more of it wasn't a match.
It's the intro. Call it in.
Yeah. Like, it was just their introduction. So let's give them a couple matches. Let's see if them being in AEW, knowing that that's where you need your in-ring work. Let's see if they step their game up.
Especially with this stacked women's division, you got 8 teams in the forefront, including the champions.
Right? Like,
they got a really good division right now. Yeah,
it's a good start. Again, start. Keyword inaugural. Start.
Give them a chance to. Let's see what they. Again, I give them 8 matches. I give everybody. Let's see what they do after 8 matches. Then you're fully aware to critique them. But I think until then, let them get their feet wet. Let them lock it, dude. We were just talking to a wrestler, and even she said She locks in her when she's going for it. Let these girls lock in and let's see how they do, and then we can critique it. But until then, it's a good. I think it's a good pickup. I think it's a character built for a tag team division that you're trying to build. Like, I don't see the issue of why you're not bringing in a tag team to bolster your tag team division.
Here's where I think, and again, I didn't watch the show. I'm only going based off of IWC Outrage. Let me make that clear.
I know.
Okay? That's what I have to do as a host moderator of these things, is you have to see what the IWC is talking about, what the news of the week is, so you can bring it to your own shows.
Gotta help your mentality.
I didn't watch Raw. I didn't watch Dynamite. I didn't watch NXT. I didn't see SmackDown. I didn't see any of the shows this week. So there is no personal bias from me on anything. At least not in any of the topics we're going to discuss this week.
All right.
What I think that I'm having a hard time grasping, and then I will throw to Ash to follow up on this point. You've got a division that you're building, a tag division, that is 100% made up of thrown together teams. Like, yes, some of the girls have been together for a minute, like Julia Hart and Sky Blue, like KJ, but 99.9% of your division are two girls that you thought worked together when you didn't have a division, and you turned into teams and are using them as your division. And now you've got a team, a legitimate team, that has been together for years, getting squashed by a team that's been together a month and a half tops. I think that's where I'm finding a hard time grasping this. And especially since, and I've admitted this on multiple streams we've done, I wasn't watching during the Iconic era. I still don't get the hype about them.
It's fair.
I can't tell either one of them apart if I'm being 100% honest. Yeah, at least the Bellas I can tell apart because one's had surgical implants and the other one is still natural. But if I'm being honest, back then before the enhancements, it was hard to tell them apart. But at least I can tell them apart because of that. As embarrassing, and I see Jeff shaking his head down there since he's friends with them, as embarrassing as that is to admit, I'm keeping it a buck. I can't tell the Iconics apart. But here's an established team that's been together for pushing a decade now.
Correct. 2015.
Your only true established team in the division, and they're getting squashed in a minute. That's what I'm having a hard time grasping the concept of more than anything. Ash, go ahead.
I was just going to add to your point about like how you weren't able to tell the inspiration apart, because when we were doing the Prestige show last year, even I had a hard time telling them apart, so I can vouch for you.
Oh, Ash.
No, it's accurate because me and her were doing the call and I'm like, I don't know which of these bitches is who. Mm-hmm. Like, can we at least put their names on their ass so that I can read the name?
Give them something to differentiate the two.
I mean,
why does it have to be the butt?
No, it's the chest. Actually, oh, for the love of Peter, surrounded by idiots. Anyway,
just get somewhere so I can be like, oh, that's that one, and that's the other one. I say that because I can't remember their names, and I'm so sorry.
Really quickly, as far as why put it on their ass, I'm going to sound like a sexist pig after just having a woman independent wrestler on the show. But again, I'm going to keep it a buck. Sex sells. The women know guys are going to be looking at their asses. If they want people to remember their name, where should they put it? I'm just saying.
Is that really
Continue,
a sexist
Ash.
thing? Actually, Is that really a sexist thing? Because I've seen a lot.
Yes, it kind of is, considering that there's one woman on the panel and it's a dude saying it. If Ash had said it, probably would be different.
Well, the reason
Go ahead, Ash.
Continue.
Sorry, what you're about to say, James? You can.
I was just gonna say the reason I ask is because we've seen a lot of guys with their names on their ass as well.
It's sexist because it's a man pointing it out, James. That's how it's sexist.
Learn a dictionary, you freaking. Never mind.
Not only just a dictionary, but a thesaurus too, because some people need a freaking thesaurus as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. If they can't say one word, they can figure out another. Go ahead, Ash.
Yeah. So I didn't see this because I haven't watched any wrestling this week. I'm not sure if it's like due to burnout or lack of interest or a combination of the two. So
I've been there.
Walter's kind of accurate with that. So anyway, based off what you said about the match, I put in quotations because can you really call it a match?
Exactly.
So I get why they did what they did because on one hand, they've been building up the Brawling Birds. That's what they're called, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, cool. I love that team name, by the way, because they are
Same.
birds.
These crazy Brits that drink and fight. I love it.
Yes.
It reminds me too much of the Brawling Brutes.
I was just about to call them that by accident too, so that's why I stopped myself.
Here's the thing: these are legitimate Brawling Brutes because
Well,
they
they are
legitimately
doing,
have
actually, 'cause,
brawling
like-
Britain against each other.
Right? Anyway, yeah, I get why they did what they did because they want to establish this tag team. In what better way than to have them beat an other established team? Yet on the other hand, this is the established team's debut. You want to make them at least look, I hate to use this term, credible. So they kind of like shot themselves in the foot here. But if the story plays out the match went how it did because of the circumstances surrounding it, like in storyline wise, yeah, this could be a good like character progression because that's what the Inspiration Iconics, that's what they're mostly known for is their character work. I'm not saying they're bad wrestlers because they're not. They work so well as a tag team because they literally grew up together as a tag team since they trained to become wrestlers. So I get people's frustrations, but at the same time, well, we got to take the wait and see approach. And maybe this is a slow build to them because it's also a trope of AEW where the debuting team or debuting person loses their match and they just slowly but surely build them up because that's what they're doing with Bustin' the Brain as well.
Yep.
In fairness, though, there's a difference to Bustin' the Brain and the Inspiration. Bustin' the Brain is a team of young upstarts that basically got signed off the independent circuit. The Inspiration is an established women's tag team with a decade plus of experience together. You know, I think the other part of what I'm having a hard time grasp is we've seen on AEW television numerous times squash matches that go like 10 minutes in order to make the young upstart look good. Like, I think I'd be more okay with it if this had gone, let's say 5 minutes or 6 minutes. And because of the arrogance of the Inspiration, let's say that Windsor was able to lock one of them into a submission and force them to tap, you know, that they think that they're in charge and they're dominating, and boom, just out of nowhere, traps her in a submission, makes her tap out because of her arrogance. That I think I would be able to get more than this minute squash. Because how many times have we seen an already in the ring that nobody knows and they put on like a 10-minute competitive match before getting jobbed out?
Very rarely, but still does happen once in a blue moon.
I everything that we're saying though about the Inspiration's debut here, these were the exact same bitch as far as the Chelsea Green debut on WWE. It was literally the same thing people were complaining about then. Like, she should have lasted more in the Rumble. She's a veteran. She's had all these titles. This is literally like copy and paste the same complaints they had about Chelsea Green's debut.
Okay.
And
And
where
in
she
all
has
fairness, I didn't know nothing about Chelsea Green really when she debuted in the Rumble either. Nor was I
Right.
the host, I think, at that point. So
If I may.
quickly,
There's
Nick, because we do still need to get Walter's thoughts on this.
Big difference between that is look where Chelsea is now, versus where she should be, and with all due respect to the Inspiration, the titles are going to end up on them regardless. So,
Well said.
Walter, go ahead and close us out on this one.
I'm sort of indifferent with it, and in terms of the IWC, there's no satisfying anyone. If they would have done a long match and they won, they would have been like, here we go. Tony signs an outside tag me, and they immediately beat somebody who AEW is trying to establish and cut them off at the feet and don't let them get their feet under them. It would have been the whole opposite feeling. There's never any satisfying anybody, so I'm indifferent with it. It was a debut. There was a debut. I'm not sure where they're going from, but I'm also patient enough to wait and see. So we'll see what the next match is. But last time I checked, when people are cocky heels, you want to see them get their comeuppance. So it's like a ha-ha, you got squashed. So that you could spin it to that. So that's all I gotta say. I'm indifferent. I want to see how they further it. So it doesn't bother me that they got squashed.
We are talking about the same community that will literally bot likes just for WWE to get a disliked fucking video. And that was posted by supposed AEW superfan Slick, who literally said, the problem with wrestling fans is the fucking wrestling fans.
To be fair, Jeff said it first.
And Jeff has said it before him, but, like, he's right. And it's so ridiculous. Like, fans will bitch about anything if you give them enough time.
Or a keyboard, just cuz.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The typing, too.
There's a reason why I'm not on it.
See.
Well, it looks as if Nick is going to be dipping out here according to the private chat, which is sad to see, but we understand. Hopefully Nick will go back tomorrow and watch the rest of this through, see what he missed, and then there were 6.
And we've officially spring forward here, which means it is 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, that's right, because it happens at 2 o'clock. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not, oh, okay, yeah, because it's 11 o'clock, which means it's 2 o'clock, so.
Yeah. I got to work tomorrow, so I'm going to lose an hour whether I want to or not.
Same, Jeff. I've got to be there at 12:30 our time, so.
I got to be there later, but I'm going in earlier just because our trains are what they are. So.
Well, there you go.
Oh, jeez.
Time is of the essence, and I'm giving you all 1 hour, so continue forward, JJ.
Okay, well, how much of that hour do we have left, sir? Because I need to try
I just
and know
started it for your sake.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so we'll talk one more topic here real quick. Hopefully we'll keep it shorter.
Yes.
Noted.
You know, because we do want Noah to be around for some of the other conversation when we talk about the recaps. Yeah. It came out this week that Steph DeLander and Mance Warner left TNA.
Wow.
It was a whole thing. Steph DeLander did an interview with TMZ that I shared in the Shenanigans chat. Hopefully everyone watched it, as I did know that it was going to be a talking point.
Right.
About a half-hour conversation. Basically what it all comes down to is she's cleared to wrestle, and TNA wasn't going to let her wrestle. And so she was like, okay, I'm out of here. And Mance stood by his woman. You know, the trope in country music is stand by your man. He stood by his woman. And they up and bounced out of the company. You know, The question here is, where do we want to see them end up in either of the main companies? Should they go to WWE? Should they go to AEW? Or should they just go the Cardona route and kind of mill it up on the indies for a while? And spoiler alert, because we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but they did make a surprising return to GCW tonight, evening the odds in the main event. It was Vandal 48, Atticus and Otis Koger versus the Second Gear Crew. Christian Napier came out and stuck his smarmy neck into things, as he do for his cousins. And that left the Second Gear Crew at a disadvantage until the music hit and Manser and Steph came out to even things up and actually give them the numbers advantage, because then Steph was out there too, giving a 4-on-3 to what was a 3-on-2. But yeah, just kind of want to get people's thoughts on this. You know, is TNA making a mistake by not letting Steph wrestle if she's medically cleared? Because God knows the Knockouts division could use a few more talents in it at this point.
No shit.
You know, and do we want to see them go to one of the major companies? Because Manser ain't going to work in WWE. Not as crazy and bloody as he can get. He'd fit in AEW. But I personally think, and I know I haven't really spoken too in depth about either of the other topics, just a couple of 2 cents here and there when I felt the need to, but I think I want to see them do the Cardona route, and it seemed like Jeff agreed with me. You know, just kind of mill around the independent scene. I think Manser has enough drawing power that independents will pay his fee to utilize him on the show. I think SDL has enough drawing power and, let's be honest, sex appeal, that if a promoter wants to use her to further one of their female talents or do some intergenders, her name will bring talent to their promotions. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Mance and SDL versus the Savage Gnomes, Bear Bronson and Gabby Forza. I wouldn't mind seeing them against Genesis. There's 2 intergender teams right there. And at least on the indies, you don't have to worry about the girls wrestle the girls, the boys wrestle the boys, which means that Megan Bain and Manser could tear things up, and SDL and Joey Janela could tear things up, or Gabby and Manser could tear things up, while Steph and Bear tear things up. All of that sounds intriguing as hell to me. James, we'll start with you on this one as the main independent wrestling commentator.
Yeah. Okay. So I looked deep into it because I didn't hear about it until one of the YouTube channels I was watching was doing a review on TNA, and then they talked about this story that broke. So that's how I discovered this. Yeah, they had every right to walk out, first of all. To what Noah said earlier, support the wrestlers, not the company. This is definitely one of those big situations here. It is unreal that they did not look into what Steph DeLander had for an injury. It was not a serious situation where she needed to be shelved. So much so to the point where, you know, what's his name? Carlos Silva didn't even look into like why she was on the shelf and just decided not to use her anyway. He's like, can't do it. It felt personal, and they disguised it as concern, and it was blatant because it wasn't a concerning injury to put her on the shelf for that long. They made the right decision to leave.
I'm going to push back there. It was originally a neck injury.
Yes.
So it is definitely a severe enough injury to put her on the shelf for a while. But once she got clearance, she should have been allowed to come back.
Yes, because it wasn't. Well, here's the other thing, too. The type of neck injury wasn't, I think it was a fracture. It wasn't even a full break.
No, because she said that she had to have surgery on numerous vertebrae. If you watched the interview.
Right, okay, yeah.
She did disclose what she had to have work on. I posted the interview. I'm sure you watched it.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Which is fair enough. I'll say this. I get concern, but, like, come on. Like, it's ridiculous that they just kept her on the payroll and on the shelf. Especially when they literally were getting paid a hot dog and a handshake. No pun intended, JJ. Working in TNA where they could have worked multiple indies and made that like money triple times. So to your point, I agree. Do the Cardona route. Because, like, I don't get it, man. Like, I get being concerned. But, like, you could protect somebody that has an injury like that. Like, I'm sure they would have never had a problem doing it that way. I think it's just overprotective just for the sake of being overprotective. And it's like, you can't like, people got to make their bread, bro. And like, if you're not going to make that money that they could be making with 3 other independent bookings, just as an example to what you talked about, they made the right decision walking out.
Walter, I see your hand. You can go ahead and go next.
I just want to throw a wrench and throw a question in here. Do you think it's the relationship that TNA has with WWE now or NXT that they have more pressure to feel like they have to do that over kind of protective and can't do things like that because more eyes in a bigger company is on them too? So if you sit there and clear somebody and cause a liability, let them wrestle, and they get hurt again, you just made your company liable, and you got, the big boy watching you too. So could that have factored in the decision on why they did that? I'm not saying it is. I'm just throwing a monkey wrench that it could be.
Well, considering they do the same
method,
James. Yeah, makes sense.
Since you didn't watch the interview, James, let me speak. I feel like it's a decent concern and counterpoint, but if you watched the interview, Carlos Silva had no idea what her injury even was. Mm-hmm. And the TNA doctors, therapists, basically told her to talk to Kurt Angle and Stone Cold Steve Austin as far as gating help. So she went to big-time WWE surgeons and specialists. She even paid for 2 surgeries. The TNA didn't pay for any of the stuff. What's going on here?
And I think he backed down and came back in or something. I don't know.
Are you hearing me okay?
I mean, we can hear you, but
are you
can
hearing
you hear
me
us?
Okay. Yes. It was just on my computer, everything froze when James came back in.
Yeah, my bad.
I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, so she paid for both surgeries herself. TNA didn't pay for it, so just something to keep in mind here. But I get your counterpoint. But if WWE doctors are the ones that cleared her, then TNA shouldn't have been so concerned.
Yep, and I wasn't saying they were. I just wanted to play devil's advocate so that we have another point to make. But, shout out to her for wanting to work because Lord knows she's probably making more than enough money having fans on a different website, if you know what I mean. So
100%.
like, at least she has the passion to want to come back and wrestle. So
No, that's fair. And since you brought that up, I just want to, I don't want to lose Noah here too early, but I want to piggyback on that. And it's like, just because these women have those pages, 99% of the women that have them that are professional wrestling based don't show anything more than you can really see on their X or IG accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the fact that there's people that are willing to pay that subscription fee for not much more than they can see on a free X page is just mind-numbing to me.
Or Instagram, yeah.
But you're valid there, because there are people that are going to pay and be like, ooh, is that some side boob I see?
Yeah, there's
Like,
people obsessed
ooh.
with feet in this world, so
Right? It's like, anyways, moving on, because we don't want to sit here and have the gooning hour. I want this to go kind of quickly here.
But no, I'm
Jeff,
glad she
it's
has the
on
passion.
you.
I'm
Yeah.
just glad she has the passion. So whoever can clear you, go work. But I'm with you. Work the independent scene.
Go ahead, Jeff.
So, again, I didn't know about this news until you brought it up, and I was trying to watch the interview, but I also just want to move the show along. So I kind of got a Cliff Notes version, if you will. Look, again, this goes back to my whole, we don't know everything, so the opinions kind of are what they are. If Mance or if Steph and Mance, don't want to put up with, the what they perceive as unfair lack of work from TNA, they are free to go where they want to go. They don't have to be on TV with them anymore. I think they'd be better off in the Indies, number one. That's my opinion on them. You asked the question, that's my answer. My commentary, nobody in that room over there, the chat room, knows what's going on backstage. So we are free to know what we are told, which by the way, that entire, you said it was 30 minutes of an interview?
Yeah, give or take.
That's her side. That's her opinion on the situation. Her opinion on management within a company or whatever does not make the president of that company an idiot. So, just so the person in the chat room knows, I asked the owner of that channel to time you out for 30 minutes because that's an ignorant comment. Nobody in that room knows Carlos Silva. And if they do, please show me verifiable proof and I'll retract that statement. Okay? Cool. Everybody that works in professional wrestling that signs a contract is free to negotiate that contract or withdraw from that contract and apply their trade elsewhere. I find zero fault with TNA other than it seems like they had a valuable pair of talented people that they chose not to utilize. That and again, that goes back to the opinion of the fan versus the opinion and direction. A correction is made within the presentation of their show. I don't know how much influence Carlos has in the booking of TNA, even though he's a TNA president. But I'd venture to guess he's not the only voice in that room. Right?
It's fair.
And if he's paying somebody and doesn't feel that they warrant the time on that, then they're not going to get paid for it. And if Steph and Mance aren't happy with that, they're free to walk away. And I guarantee, I don't know a whole lot about either one of them, but based on the buzz both of them have, they have a very Zack Ryder post WWE buzz to them. And they can Cardona the fuck out of this for them if they really want to. And it seems like they both want that. They both have the passion for the industry, regardless of how much she's making on OnlyFans or whatever the fuck she's on.
No, you're right.
I'm in. I think they're in a much better position to ply their trade independently, and then TNA or AEW might give them a look again down the line. I do agree with the assessment. I forget who said it. I apologize. I'm still kind of foggy headed. That said that I don't think they would. I think you said Mance Warner's presentation wouldn't apply well to WWE. And I tend to agree with that. Mance, from what I have seen prior to their run here in TNA, a little bit sideways for the E to deal with. And I think, unfortunately for Steph, her biggest thing prior to this has been the work with PCO and Matt. And Matt's back in WWE. And PCO is a whole other beast.
PCO's in Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
And you know what? You're going to hear me say this, and it's not going to be a whole lot often because I don't get to appear on camera whole often anymore. I am impressed with what's going on at the JCW. I'm happy for Russo. I'm happy for Vito. I am a viewer, again, when I can get home and sit my ass down for a half hour, whatever it is, and enjoy that shit. I look forward to their presentation WrestleMania week.
I selfishly want them to stay in the independents because maybe they'll pop up at one of the shows JJ and I are going.
I was going to say this.
I'm sure they will.
Fuck me, dude. I went in the main room the other day and showed my dad. There was like this list that was literally this screen long, and each entry was like that tall of everything going on between the 15th and the 20th. And I'm going, people that are attending these shows, I want their job. I want to know how they can afford to do all this shit. If somebody in our audience is going to every single wrestling presentation or has the ability to do based on sheer time and physics, because not everything can be done.
Yeah.
But if you're going to what you can, please let me know what your line of work is. I will apply to that company tomorrow.
Walter, what's your line of work?
Yeah. What's your line of work? What is it you do exactly? I want to know. And if you're a professional wrestler, then you're ahead of the curve. Good for you.
I don't think he wrestles anymore, Jeff. I'm just saying.
Because Walter bought the general admission tickets for him and I to go to everything Thursday through Saturday, the collective. It was all a big package. It was like $250 per person. And he got all the shows from Thursday through Saturday. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to all of those. Because there are other things that we want to see as well.
Sure.
And he bought front row tickets for Poder Mania, which is collective, but that was separate ticket, as was Dragon Gate, as was Hybrid.
Right.
I bought the tickets for us to go to Hybrid.
Okay.
And then there's 2 other shows that we're going to try to go to that aren't part of the collective that I'm basically going to be buying the tickets for once I get the finances for it. One of them is the ID tournament or the ID showcase.
Yeah.
The other one is Ladies Night Out.
Okay, yeah.
Because again, huge advocates of women's wrestling here.
Damn it. But yeah. So my point in mentioning that list, I didn't even count the number of shows because my eyes don't work that well for that long.
Yeah, seriously.
Fuck.
But
out of curiosity, was it the tweet that Gino put up?
It may have been. I don't know.
Because I saw him put up a tweet that was a huge list, and I'm talking about Gino Rivera, not Papa Gino.
Okay.
Just for clarification from Noah.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I saw him put out a tweet that was a huge list of all the shows that were going to be running. And he's basically like, if you're an independent worker and you can't get on at least one of these shows, you're not grinding hard enough.
Fact.
And that's, here it is right here. Yeah. Okay, yeah. This was the picture, but I didn't see it on Gino's page. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Okay. This is zoomed in on just the list, you guys, just so you can see it at home. That
Oh
is
my
everything.
gosh!
Like I dude, my eyes couldn't do that 20 years ago. Like fuck. So,
And there's probably stuff on there that even I don't know about because I've been sending Noah graphics for shows that I've been coming up on.
Right.
And there's some stuff that I need to send you because I've got some new stuff.
Damn it.
But I've been trying to find like the individual graphics for them as opposed to just the graphic with like all of the things on there.
Oh,
based on my ability to retain account in my head, and again, if you don't know about my retaining accounts, buy the shirt at Greg Cherry Brand.
Yeah, Jeff can't count. Buy the shirt.
JeffCan'tCount.com. Whatever the fuck it is. There's at least like 40 to 50 shows on this list. And one is the Hall of Fame. Let me be clear. So you're not going to watch wrestling in that day, but you're going to see some cool shit.
And I'm sure there's some podcasts on there because I know Denise Salcedo's doing a live show. I know Chris Van Vliet's doing a live show. I know that the Hardys are doing the Hardy Party. Bubba Ray's doing a thing.
This is literally
there's an
just
evening
wrestling.
with Mick Foley. There's an
Everything.
RVD thing.
Everything.
There's a bunch of like
Culture
podcasts that are part of that all too. But
yeah, I will say, other than the WWE Hall of Fame, everything here is a wrestling card.
God.
Okay.
So
That's
either way,
crazy.
we're talking like damn near 50 shows. Okay. If Steph and Matt can't get booked on like Mance, can't get back. I'm thinking of Cardona again because it's all about Cardona.
Indie God.
At least half those shows, then they're doing something wrong. Not TNA, not Carlos Silva, not AEW. You know what? Okay. So this is every company in the fucking world practically except AEW, and even CMLL is up there, part of this,
and Stardom.
So everybody, whether it's the main company, WWE, New Japan, whatever, or one of the subsidiaries, is in Las Vegas. So if you, again, Gino is 100% right. You can't get booked here. You're not doing the thing right, kids. And we know that Mance and Steph can do the thing right.
100%.
100%. So, yes, stick to the indies. But for the love of God, if nothing else this year, in addition to dropping the weight I'm dropping, I'm going to make everybody in that fucking chat room drop their immediate, fucking kill switch to jump on people with their uneducated, incomplete opinions.
Please do.
Fuck that chaps
there's
so much.
Because there's some people that get on my nerves with that too. Noah, it is on you, good sir.
I mean, what else needs to be said? I mean, you basically, you hit the nail on the head. They fit the independent grind, ride, and fun to a T, much like Killer Cross and Scarabado that are doing far better in their own words than WWE. For me, I've always considered Steph DeLander and Vance Warner as a package together, GCW. And ironically enough, boom, you mentioned it, back at GCW. So they're already doing the work that I expected to. Now, whether or not it was on TNA officials or it was a personal decision due to unprofessional conduct in their opinion, that's up for them to be the justifications of. But yeah, I say stick on the independents. As far as AEW has already picked up over 15 different damn talents, and some of them are double contracted still to CMLL, including the new CMLL Women's World Champion. They already got a hot freaking roster. They don't need to sign nobody else right now, in my opinion. They've reset their entire landscape heading into the first pay-per-view. And the Fed, Vance Warner, red light. Steph DeLander's lucky, evolve. I think right now the independents just work better for them. I think it will accommodate their schedules better to be with each other. And I think it will also allow them to enjoy what they love more about this business. To your point, I look at them as intergender wrestlers than traditional wrestlers. So yeah, definitely be on the independent grind for the duration of how long they wish, as long as it brings them happiness and pleasure and profit.
Irony. That's the word for today, kids. Noah, can you do your Mark Briscoe impression and use irony?
The word of the day is irony.
So I have some screens up to screen share, and I was going to do them later, but this just came onto my feed for X as we were talking about them.
Well, there you go.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
That was fast.
Right.
Didn't take one.
Did not see it. Just gonna puff up my chest and say, "I told you so." I'm not Gino, but I told you so.
About to say, for once, Walter, it wasn't you that was the premonition. It was Jeff motherfucking Meacham.
Which, and since it's for that particular show, I will say that Walter and I will probably be going to that now that my NXT won't be standing and delivering in Vegas.
Womp womp.
So, we have that morning now to do whatever we want. And since it's included in the stuff that we got anyways, may as well.
There you go.
Got the time, you got the bill, you got everything you need.
Especially with the announced match, and I told Noah about this the other day when I talked to him. But there was one match specifically on that show that sold me, and that is Viperous versus Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah. Martinez retirement tour, nonetheless.
Yeah, that's a good Mercedes Martinez's retirement year, and Viperous has been cooking on GCW. That's going to fuck hard.
On Effie's Big Gay Brunch is going to fuck hard, JJ?
That's right, James, and you get to call it.
Sorry.
Okay, and since James had to be there, notice Noah going for his phone again. Put the phone down, Noah.
I had that joke. I had to hit the home run.
Let Ash wrap this topic up, then we will go to commercial, then we'll come back and we'll start talking about the watch-alongs we covered. Go ahead, Ash, and wrap this up.
Boy, TNA, they do. Boy, do they not have a good history when it comes to. Sorry, what?
I didn't say anything. Continue.
No, finish your thought.
No, I'm fine.
I lost my train of thought, so you can finish yours.
I'm about to say, you were talking about, TNA, they don't have, I don't know, a roster!
I was about to say, they don't have a good history when it comes to, like, protocol of doctors and when their wrestlers get injured.
No, they don't.
Accurate.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get.
Jesse Sorensen, everybody?
Daphne?
Don't give me
Yeah, huh?
Sorry.
Okay, that's a bit, okay.
But a workers' compensation injury, that's what I was referring to, and mess.
I know exactly.
We do not want to get that into Steph the Lander. So
trust me, we know.
Yeah, I'm hoping that does not happen, because it's a good thing they kind of learned from that with the Steph the Lander situation. Although it's kind of sad that if she's ready to wrestle, then let her wrestle. I don't know what's going on with management and the doctor's protocols, whatnot. They just need to get that, they need to work on that communication, because communication is key. I hate to sound like such a broken record, but the more I hear about the backstage stuff about TNA, the thing that goes in my head is management is so messy. They need to get their shit together. And that's not to the fault of the performers, because they're doing everything they can. And if Steph DeLander wants to work, let her work. And that's why she left TNA, because she was willing to work. They wouldn't let her. So she's going to work elsewhere, which is good. And wherever she decides to work, I hope she does well. That's all you can ask for.
That's a fair take. That is a fair take. Well, that wraps up the regular conversational topics for this week, unless anyone super chats any throughout the program. We will take a quick commercial break, run our watch-along trailer. When we get back, we will discuss the watch-alongs that have been covered over the course of the past 2 days. Don't go anywhere.
And now for a taste of things to come.
I swear that last trailer gives me indigestion for all the wrong reasons. At the end of the day, folks, in the Simple Album Studios, for the encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, react, and look into all the wrestling.
Damn it. And combat sports, and other forms of sports, and automotive sports.
Yeah, all the stuff.
And entertainment.
Speaking of combat sports, Walter shared the card here.
Oh, there you go.
Holy.
Oh, that's right. The BMF title match was tonight.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
shit.
they actually announced the White House card that everybody's looking forward to. So Sunday,
God.
June 14th, and yes, we'll be covering it for the undisputed. Your main event is for the undisputed UFC lightweight heavyweight champion. WWE, take fucking notice. This is what undisputed means. You see how there's an actual champ, and then there's an interim champ, and now they got to fight so that the winner actually has an undisputed title. That's what the fuck the word undisputed means. But anyways,
he's not wrong.
I mean, he's out of line, but he's not wrong. I mean, you've got a World Heavyweight Championship and the Undisputed Championship still. How can there be an Undisputed Championship if you have a championship that was created because the Undisputed Champion wasn't fucking there?
$50 follow-up. How is the World Heavyweight Championship match more important at WrestleMania than the undisputed WWE Championship when it's supposed to be undisputed?
Because it's CM Punk and Roman Reigns. That's
I was going to say acknowledge why. Yeah.
Exactly. I rest my case, Ron.
Exactly.
All right, I'll come back to UFC so we call it with you, Walter.
Yeah. And
What
then
day is it? What day is
co-main
it?
event, you got Alex Pereira trying to make history and become the first Triple Crown winner because he went 3 damn different divisions. He is now a heavyweight. So Alex Pereira is fighting Cyril Gane for Interim UFC heavyweight champion. And of course, the winner of that then goes after the undisputed, there it is again, heavyweight championship to fight Tom Aspinall after he recovers his eye surgery. Then you got Sean O'Malley versus Iman Zahabi. You got Ruffy versus Michael Chandler. You got the wrestling standout American Bo Nickel versus Kyle Douglas. Bo Nickel only lost one time. He made one little mistake, but he's one of the best wrestlers they got in the roster. So this shit is stacked.
Yeah, I'm calling it. I don't care if I get another. I'm gonna have to be super quiet, but I'm gonna be there. I have to be there. That sounds like a kick-ass fucking card.
It sounds right
Politics
up your alley.
be damned. I'm calling it.
For all UFC folks and future content coverage and analysis, please follow the Rage of Wrestling today. I'm Walter Cruz, our MMA expert. The fact of the matter that Ronda Rousey versus Gigi is more important to me right now than both women's championships of WrestleMania speaks volumes as a wrestling fan.
So my questions are 2.
Okay.
1, when does Brock Lesnar's spleen fight Cain Velasquez's prison for the undisputed heavyweight championship?
Oh, fuck.
The other thing is, I counted. So from the time the first show starts in Vegas, which is April 15th at 2 p.m. local time, until the end of Raw on the 20th, there will have been 57 different wrestling cards plus the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Jesus.
And we still don't know if they're going to add NXT to the Tuesday. Just because Stand and Deliver isn't there,
Right.
they could still run regular weekly NXT there.
So if they run NXT at like one of the little sub sites, like not at the T-Mobile like they're doing Raw and SmackDown, we're pushing 60 events in 5 days, people.
Yeah. And we're looking at going to 10 of those.
Yeah. And JJ, I think your statement from back in the dad's days speaks volumes more than ever. In addition to Gino talking about if you can't get booked on this show, you ain't doing your shit right. If there is not one show that you are in Vegas for, folks, that you can't get enjoyment out of, James, what's the word? Come on.
What's the word?
What's the word? If you can't get enjoyment out of
wrestling,
something in that weekend.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Leave that alone. It's Doyle now, and I will stick to it.
Span, 7 if you can NXT. Please, on your way out of Vegas, make sure you find this man or Walter and hand in your fandom card because fuck off.
Yep, please.
110%, because that'll that'll just make more room for us to go to shows in the future.
And seriously, almost 60 shows, and I get some of them are WWE. There's a big group, but there is literally, if there's not something for everybody
Mm-hmm.
in the span of those 6 days, then
100%. To your point, you're going to have women's only cards because you got Poder Mania, you've got Miraculous Wrestling, you got Tokyo Joshi Pro, you got Stardom, you got Ladies Night Out. You're going to have Lucha because CMLL is going to be there. Gringo Loco's World on Lucha. You're going to have Deathmatch Wrestling. You're going to have New Japan. You're going to have
midgets.
Independence.
Fucking midgets.
Yeah, you've got Midget Mania.
I know, I'm popping too hard for midgets. I'm sorry.
Wow, Jeff.
But literally, there is something there for everybody. It is Las Vegas. It is home of the buffets.
Fuck me, right?
Something!
Go. You. Jeff said it eloquently, and he stole my shit, so I'm going to say it myself, goddammit. If you cannot find something that week to enjoy, get the fuck out the fandom.
Simple as that.
And honestly, if you plan to go to Vegas and there's not one thing that you can find in that entire 6 days, then again, find one of these two, see if they've made a little money at the tables or on the machines. They'll give you some cash, go to the titty bar and make yourself happy. Like, fuck, dude. Like, honest to God.
Go to the Godfather's strip club.
Right. James, how did you miss a wide open alley-oop? What the fuck?
Because he still hates that 9-letter word.
Yes. that.
I'm not gonna lie, I do. I kind of do now. Now that I said it, seriously,
Joe
Henry.
I
believe in Joe Hendry. I am so glad that his name creates the video, because if his name became a drinking game over the last year, we'd all be in fucking out in Betty Ford at this point.
Okay, Charles, if there was a wrestling Muppets event, I would be their front row center.
I want to see. Okay, hey, come here, Mouse. I want to see y'all pull this shit off now that he said it.
A Muppet is not a participant.
And you need to have Animal and Sami Zayn in a tag team.
What fucking hell?
I quit.
Versus Beaker and Sheamus.
Beaker and Sheamus.
With Noah and Kermit on commentary going, with Noah, Statler,
with Statler and Waldorf, yes.
Why do we always go?
Kermit would be the ring announcer.
With Drake and Sam the Eagle as the musical guest.
Yes.
Hi ho, everybody! Kermit the Frog here, and
Kermit
making
would
their
be-
way to the ring.
Actually, Kermit would be the ring announcer, and he'd be the third on commentary, because why not?
Dude, I need Miss Piggy versus somebody on that show. I'm just throwing that out there. Fuck, right? Oh no, come back, Noah. Wait,
Come back, Noah.
Come
We
on.
need you now.
We still got 20 minutes on your self-imposed timer. Come on.
Yeah, come back here.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So, we want to get into the week, or should I say the weekends, the last 2 days worth of watch.
I wasn't here for those, so yeah, I got nothing.
Before we get into the NXT, I do want to touch quickly on Friday's GCW show. Since James wasn't there for it, didn't go back and watch any of it.
Same.
Good show. Good show. There's a rule in Kentucky apparently that prohibits blood in matches and death matches. Apparently, unless you pay the fines in advance. This information was given to me by Reed Cooper, who is a regular in the GCW World podcast. Shout out to Reed and Frankie, who's another GCW podcast team regular, both of whom were in the chat today. Reed was in the chat yesterday. Frankie was in the chat last week. They've been showing up for us a lot lately, so huge shout out to them. But yeah, he posted that in there. So clearly Brett paid the fine, because the main event was a fucking death match, as MLJ calls it when he does his introductions. A bloody mess of a match with Otis Koger successfully defending his championship.
Not surprised.
I gotta try and remember the other stuff that happened on that show. Everything is just kind of a blur here. Let's see here. Yes, Reed Bentley, he defended the championship against. Apparently, Reed is a former IWA Mid-South champion, as is Larry D., who fought Atticus Koger for the GCW championship. Billy Starks and Flying Ryan had a good encounter. Christian Napier made his singles debut, taking on Gavin Ash in a good contest. The last 2 days have brought some really solid GCW wrestling. But the bigger story is the recognition we're getting by covering those. I just mentioned Reed Cooper and Frankie in the chat room. We also had Bobby Flacco and Teriyaki repost one of our tweets. Reed Bentley like one of our tweets. We had Ryan O'Neal retweet our tweet about him versus Billy Starks. Today we had the base god Gringo Loco liking one of our posts. Speaking of her earlier, Steph DeLander retweeted one of our posts about her and Mance being back. And Otis Koger, the ultraviolent champion, and AJ Gray liking one of our posts. And AJ Gray actually retweeted the same post as well. So, eyes are on us from the GCW camp. I think I mentioned this last week as well. The actual GCW X page either liked or retweeted one of our posts last week. So we are definitely starting to get eyes on us. We just have to keep things going in this upward trajectory that we are on right now. I don't want to downplay or undersell any of the GCW cards as of late because they've been solid. GCW turns out, honestly, some of my favorite product on a consistent basis. You know, I've said it a couple times. GCW is becoming more of my brand than even my NXT is. I know that's probably shocking for Noah to hear. NXT has fallen down to my number 2 promotion or company, you know, whatever you want to call it, television product. But we're getting a lot of eyes on us now, probably because we're one of the only spaces in the wrestling community that does independent watch-alongs on a consistent basis. This is going to be big for us going forward and hopefully could turn into something when we get to Vegas for Walter and I, because if we introduce ourselves, if we show the business cards that I have made that say Simply Reliable Studios, some of the talent may remember seeing our posts, remember that they reposted or saw us put them over, and, you know, could start to work for us in the future. So I will just leave that at that as far as Friday goes. James, is there anything that you really want to bring up as far as a focus other than the fact that, you know, Steph and Mance returned tonight as far as tonight's show goes, so that we can try to move this along and let Noah get what he needs to get in as far as Vengeance Day before he dips out?
Honestly, the only other thing that I would say is go out of your way to check out Gringo Loco versus Marcus Mathers, which fucked. Really
I figured it would, and I'm really kind of disappointed that I missed it, because at that point, My landlady had come home. One of my roommates had accidentally locked the deadbolt on the door, so I had to go let her in.
Yeah, it was
And
a
then
big
me and
thing.
her had a conversation for a little bit. Nothing bad, just, catching up on stuff. So it kind of took me away from the action for that match and the match that followed it, because we were talking for that long. So James was on his own for a good chunk. Shout out to Nick again for coming in a clutch and joining James while I was out of action. But yeah. So that was the only thing you wanted to add there, James?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, it's still a good show. Definitely check it out. They delivered. It's not a bad show by any means.
Okay. So then we will go from there to Noah and Walter for commentary about Vengeance Day, which I can actually chime in a little bit about now because it ended on my watch back of that. So,
All
Noah,
right.
go ahead, sir.
Well, it was the first NXT PLE, if you want to call it that, for the calendar year, and it took place from the NXT Arena in Orlando, Florida. It felt like an overglorified TV show the longer we got into it, but I will say the wrestling was pretty damn good. It felt more action-packed than the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, because I could actually remember more stuff. First kicked off with a street fight with the Glamour. Blake Monroe versus Jada Parker, as Walter always likes to call, of course, that chant. And they definitely took it to the streets. The ring literally cascaded with kendo sticks. There was tables, there was kendo sticks, there was trash can lids. There was a hip attack that meant nothing but steel. Jada Parker gave a hard seat to Blake Monroe with a table in between her and the floor. Key thing that came into play was a glamorous finale with a bag full of diamonds, as diamonds was thrown in Miss Parker's face, and a Frankensteiner took up and over before a Buddha shot DDT wasted Miss Parker like a GTA character, and the woman from hell who called her out on it humbled Jada Parker tonight at Vengeance Day.
I was wondering what that was because I couldn't tell. It looked like it was broken glass, but I'm like, nah, WWE wouldn't use broken glass.
Wide enough for that. You know that.
It was diamonds and the wrong kind of diamonds in her eyes that Jada wants to see.
Diamonds are forever.
Well, anyway, Walt, do you want to add anything further on the street fight?
No, just I mean, it all happened. It all turned for Blake after that hip attack because it went downhill for Jada. She really hurt herself. After that, she was compromised, and Blake did what you should do: take full advantage. There were no rules.
Yeah, it was a street fight. Again, it wasn't even a freaking match. I mean, shoot, she even mocked her volleyball knee lifts with a freaking only hip attack in the corner, squishing Jada between two steel ring chairs. I have to admit, Blake and Jada, they brought it for this opening bout. Vengeance and fighting was the form of the night. Why don't you talk about what happened with Dion Lennox versus Tony D prior to the match happening?
The first two weren't even matches. They were fights. Like, literally, parking lot brawl. Picture 2004, 5, whatever it was, that Eddie Guerrero and John Cena with all the cars surrounding them. That's basically what happened. All the cars were in the locker room. Tony D gets a hold of Luna when the rest of freaking Dark State comes out. They're fighting all over every room that imaginable backstage or parking lot. Tony D, OTM comes out of freaking nowhere. It helps Tony D, but they later said it wasn't for them. It wasn't for him. It was for themselves. But they found a way. Tony D found a way to lock them out of the building through the door where the cars can come in. And then they found some weird side door to get back in the building. Kept jumping Tony D. Literally at one point, Tony D punched through a freaking, I guess it was a bathroom door, right? No, he punched through a bathroom door. They were up by where the sound crates are and the cables and everything. The beam, the stage setups. They literally, any part of the arena you could fight in, except the concession stands, they pretty much fought in. And this was all before any bell or any referee had anything to do with it. Everybody's screaming, get your asses to the ring. They worked their way through the crowd, down some stairs, finally get in the ring after what, 15 minutes? No, like 10 minutes maybe, Noah?
Something like that.
Yeah, they finally get in the ring. Bell rings. These two are going at it like kids over candy. Like I don't know how to explain. They were beating the living. I don't even know how a referee can control this match or think it's a match. But they were just beating the shit out of each other. Like I think 2 street fights would have overdid it. That's why this wasn't a gimmick. It was supposed to be a regular match, but you pretty much got back-to-back street fights.
Yeah. At one point, when they finally were fighting in the ring, they took it back out to the audience to the point Tony D was thrown into the NXT faithful, and then Dion Lennox deadlift German suplexed him from the audience balcony through the damn announce table.
Yeah, it was freaking sick. But Tony D did finally pull out the win in the end and got for revenge for now. I still don't think it's over.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
so that already puts me down 0-2.
Yeah, I'm about to say. So, again, told you. It's one of those things where a vendetta once carried out, vengeance was literally the formula carried out. In the end, he survived the Lennox offense. He caught him with a spear, and then he sent him down with a one-arm choke bomb, and he got the win. It almost felt like Tony D was vindicated for the time being, much to Walter's point. And moving on from there was probably the story and the match of the night, where, again, how far do you push a young lady? Do you play with someone's feelings before karma bites you in the ass? That was the story of Tam Paxton versus Izzy Dame for the NXT Women's North American Championship. It was spiteful, it was physical, it was vengeful from the start. It was very psychological, especially with the calling there at ringside in Izzy Dame's corner. Sean Spears and the other dude that no one cares about. Basically, Vance. Who gives a fuck? Basically, both of them fought all over the place, and it was a very strong back and forth match, including callbacks to the last time.
Damn.
Like I said, don't get me started. I'm already on a pissed off mood. Like I said,
damn, why are you so mad?
First off, not my NXT! Especially after this match with a damn segment that made it feel like a damn TV show. Fucking pivy my ass. Anyway. Moving on, though, Izzy Dame, Tam Paxton, strong back and forth. A couple of moments, though, there was true fear in Izzy Dame's eyes and disbelief, including when Tam Paxton survived her move, the Dame over, and literally fell into the cover after a Sean Spears distraction. Tam Paxton, though, kept on fighting back. The craziest moment, though, was when Tam Paxton escaped a code breaker, somehow handstand springing back up to her feet to catch Izzy Dame off guard with her own Dame over, following up with her own cemetery driver. And this match went probably a good, 15 minutes or so? And Tam Paxton won. Tam Paxton got the better of Izzy Dame and is the first ever 2-time NXT Women's North American Champion. I was quite impressed with both these young women brought in their feud, because scaring the fat, they're both new athletes brought through NXT. Your additional notes in this match, Walter?
Even though the calling kept trying to interfere, it backfired. Tatum was ready. This is a whole different Tatum. I'm looking forward to seeing the reign. They're probably going to do one more match where Tatum finally defeats her once and for all, keeps the title, and then we can move on. But the women's division, it's getting better. But then we had the stupid-ass segment that came up next that I really don't even want. This belonged on an NXT house show. Fuck a regular NXT episode, but whatever. Go ahead, no.
The Robert Stone, don't give a fuck. Jesse Jane, don't give a fuck. Jesse Jane's gonna defend the NXT Women's Championship against Soruka and Zarya in a triple threat this coming Tuesday, or not this coming Tuesday, 17th on NXT TV, not Stand Deliver. And basically, Zarya got her soul snatched while Lainey Reed hit her with a knee to the face, pulling Jesse Jane out of the way, and with triple threats, we know there's no disqualification. Whoopie-doo. Moving on from there. It was time for Walter's
Stevie Wonder could
fight
have
of the
saw
night.
this coming. This triple threat, Stevie Wonder could have saw coming. So
And Stevie
we all
Wonder
know this
can't
is where
see.
we're going.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, but Walter, talk about what you cared about the most. Lil Vice versus, of course, Kalani Jordan in NXT Underground, the first ever fight of gymnastics versus combat.
Dude, Kalani Jordan was super impressive. You could tell Shayna Baszler taught her. Immediately went for different kind of submissions, ground and pound, rolling around. But of course, story of the night, the story of the fight is the hand. Lola has a messed up hand. She literally had to sign liability papers, release papers, everything releasing NXT, WWE from any kind of liability from her hand. And damn it, Kalani went for that hand. She literally at one point did a standing moonsault on the hand after she removed Mamacita's hand glove to expose nothing but bone, to really, really focused on it. They went all around the ring. They threw each other into. I keep wanting to say lumberjacks. They're not lumberjacks. They're just standees that stand on the outside of the ring. For those that don't know what an underground match is, literally people that are standing around the ring. There are no ropes, so every time you get thrown, you fall in a sea of people straight to a mat. It's at least a 10-foot drop, but their job isn't to throw you back in like lumberjacks. They're just there. And at one point, Kalani did a somersault flip towards Lola, missed, and completely landed on some random dude. I have no. Do you know who that guy was? I don't even know who that was.
Who gives a fuck? That's the answer. No one knows. Continue.
Yeah. Then they get back in the ring. Kalani does a flip. The ending came suddenly as a real MMA match there. She did a flip to get out of a move. When she kicked up, she literally did not see this coming. Walked into a spinning back fist, and the shit was over. Like, she was laid the fuck out. She was in dreamland. I mean, the Tweety birds were around her head after she got smacked with that. And it was bone on face impact. There was no glove on it, which I said, by doing that, you make it more dangerous because Lola's hitting you straight fisted. At least with a glove, you're slightly padded and protected. She may have hurt her own hand, but damn, she knocked Kalani in the next week.
Yeah, at one point, I think Kalani Jordan was going for a pin. Then she got trapped in a triangle. But again, she kept focusing her attack on that hand, and that was the way she had the advantage in this fight. And, of course, Lola Vice's family was also there in the audience. And, of course, Kalani tried to instigate them, and it bit Kalani Jordan in the ass, or should I say in the side of the face. But to Kalani's credit, she hung with Lola Vice in her element. But gymnastics was not stronger than combat. So congrats to Lola Vice, staying undefeated in the underground now, 4-0. And then, do you believe in Joe Hendry? Joe Hendry's still NXT champion. The biggest angle that happened during this match here was Ethan Page slid the title into Ricky Saints, or so we thought. Went towards Joe Hendry. That was so delayed, it was pathetic. That being said...
We did say his name 3 times, though.
I'm about to say, talk about overkilling a gimmick, much like WWE. Ain't that some hot shit? But that being said, Ethan Page... I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? That being said, of course, Armando went out for a split second after a low blow nearly gave Ricky Saints the championship. But later on, karma is the you-know-what. And later on, Joe Hendry somehow kicked him from the back. While he was,
the first time the referee ever in history gets in the way and actually doesn't get knocked out.
Yeah, it's like 3 times, might I add, in a single sequence. Anyway, Joe Hendry retained with a standing ovation as Ethan Page and Ricky Saints went off to lick their wounds. And that was NXT Vengeance Day.
Yeah, usually you blow in the referee's direction, they're laid out for the next 20 minutes. But
So I have to call Noah on some shit here because according to Walter, prior to the interview that we had, Noah was actually enjoying this show. Was getting into this show until the segment with JC Jane occurred.
Damn fucking TV segment on a pay-per-view level program, my ass.
Okay. In all fairness, though, Noah, and I understand that you still think that she's the biggest what the fuck in the last 12 plus months. But they didn't start the show with NXT Underground. They had to do something to be able to kill time to take the ropes down.
Yeah.
Like, let's call a spade here. I don't think they would have had this television segment if they started the show with the Underground like we said they should.
With the 5-minute VTR before the 10-minute snore fest, they had more than enough time to rearrange the arena's lining and take down a damn set of ring ropes.
Hey, it takes a while to do that shit.
As people that have actually helped with ring crew before, let us just say from experience, those ropes are not lightweight.
Nope.
And it takes some time to take them down.
Just be glad it wasn't a TNA 6-sided ring era segment. We'd still be on the air with a recap.
I do hate that pin tool that you need to let go of the turnbuckles. I hate it. I put rings together too. I hate that shit.
It's a
Well,
bitch.
maybe they should have planned better. How about that?
Oh, okay. That we can grant.
We totally co-sign with that, and when we did Simply Predicting, we've talked about how the underground segments are traditionally main event, and in this case, because you weren't going to have it main event over the world title match, it should jerk the curtain.
Yep.
The show layout notwithstanding, you had to do something. Let's talk about not overkilling a gimmick for James's sake and sanity. You had to do something to kill time in order to get those ropes down.
Yes.
Let's give a little bit for that, so removing that from the show, was it really as bad as you're making it out to be in retrospect?
I already gave your brand a little bit more credit than the main roster. Don't push it.
That's all I'm asking. No, that's all I'm asking. Is just it seems like you're very disgruntled about this show when, from what I understood, you thoroughly enjoyed this show, save for that segment. But in retrospect and why the segment was there, if we throw that out of the equation, this was a good show then, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all you're
I
getting.
wanted to get, because you like I said, you sound so jaded over this show, and from what I hear, it was a damn good show, and I saw it. Granted, I didn't hear any of it because it was on mute, but it looked like it was a damn good show. So,
Try more wrestling than LW's PLE so far.
Just wanted to get that clarification.
And let me really quick, Jay, before you transition. Congrats to Noah and Walter on calling the last WWE PLE that will be on Peacock, and the last PLE that will be on the original WWE Network in some countries. Peacock deal ends next weekend. The WWE Network en masse is shutting down April 1st. So that's
Are we sure that's not an April Fool joke?
Right.
No, it's been announced in the trade.
Okay.
So yeah, the WWE Network is actually completely going away.
So NXT is going to be on ESPN too.
So it's funny they haven't
announced that.
Yeah, that's where the NXT PLEs are going to land. I would guess ESPN or Netflix, one or the other, because those are the deals in place. But we don't know.
Hopefully Netflix, so we can all have it.
Probably be cheaper, and it'd probably be price justified, $8. But nonetheless,
I would think based on their status as a developmental brand, whatever else anybody thinks of the actual presentation, I think it will end up on Netflix just so more people have access to it, because they try to charge for it on ESPN on top of what they're already charging for the main roster, on top of the ticket prices. Like, that's going to go bad shit. And Charles, if the contract ends next week, I would love to have clarification on the Saturday Night's main event.
probably a press statement that will talk about both.
Because again, it says you have to get.
I think the Saturday Night's main event deal was for a number of years, and that hasn't come to its thing yet. But I could be wrong, but I want to say that I heard that the Saturday Night's main event deal was in place at least through the end of this year, if not next year.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be speaking out of pocket.
Yeah.
I
don't know
knew that the NXT thing was going to end in March. I think Saturday Night's main event still has a little bit more time because it started out as an NBC deal.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those. I only didn't cancel Peacock before we're going to now, but only because NBC still had the Olympics. And if we lost Olympic coverage, my dad had us all sleeping on the porch. So
yeah. Sure. Yeah, but the relationship there, because Evolve is sort of like the below NXT development. Maybe Tubi can carry their PLEs.
I wouldn't go there. If they were going to put it somewhere else that TKO has a deal, I would think maybe put it on the Paramount Network. Paramount Plus, because that's where UFC is, and that's where AEW is going to end up, and it would be another counter programming measure on
Wouldn't
WWE.
that be something if AEW TV streaming and pay-per-views, right? ended up on the same platform as NXT PLEs. That would be, dude. I don't
And
know.
UFC.
I don't know what would pop first, Shawn Michaels' other eye or Tony Khan's curly hair.
Well,
Either way, I'm
stay
here for
tuned as we get updates on that. I'm sure it'll become a talking point at some point in the
I'm
not
here
so
to talk about it
distant
if I'm
future.
free.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
be enslaved on a Saturday. I'm here for it.
The water room, locker room talk. But the bottom line, Vengeance Day, probably the better PLE I've seen so far this year because I actually had more wrestling, despite the TV segment that could have been backstage while they disassembled the ring. It was all right. Now go ahead.
To avoid that, they maybe make the underground a pre-tape thing. I don't know. You gotta somehow work it like that.
Like I said, it just either needs to jerk the curtain or be main event going forward. It can't be in the middle of a card.
No.
Yeah.
Really quickly, go. You were going to say something, Jeff?
No, you're good.
I was going to say really quickly, because I do want to get us out of here. I know people are tired. They're saying in private chat they're tired. They're only going to hold on here because I've got some announcements to make. Really quickly, I do want to now address Emmanuel's super chat. How far should the curse go to Dominic? For Dominic, I'd say until WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. You've got to at least
further.
play it up. I say, James, I'm talking.
Go ahead.
You've got to at least go through WrestleMania to make it pay off, I think. You know, I think that's a good time. Anything too much further than that, I think, is going to be overkill.
I think you could get away with it until Backlash, but then it should stop at Backlash.
Why would you stop it at a throwaway pay-per-view instead of at the biggest show of the year?
That's true, I guess. Yeah.
If you want to get Danhausen immediately over, like Walter raised his hand, I talked over him. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Walter.
No. I agree with JJ to just do that, but I want them to do some funny shit and do the reverse thing with Danhausen. I feel like he should curse R-Truth, and instead of a losing streak, he can go on a fucking winning streak.
Hell yeah, dude.
And have the reverse curse on him.
Well, I mean, they're already number one contenders for the tag titles, him and Priest, so, you know.
So, since he's threatened to curse The Miz if Miz isn't mentoring, which I think is fucking great, by the way.
Yes.
Because just anytime you find Miz something to do that's funny, he's still wrestling, like, I'm here for it. Now I'm good. If they're going to keep it up with Dom, the payoff should be Dom versus Danhausen at WrestleMania.
I agree.
If you give Danhausen that kind of, that kind of rub, and you have him in the ring with the most prolific Intercontinental Champion of the past year, arguably the biggest story of the last year with as far as Dom's run, that gets Danhausen in an immediate, all right, position.
I concur.
All right.
All right, so I want to make some announcements here before we get into the shills and we get out of here for the evening.
All right, fine.
As it is already later than we normally do, and Ash and Noah have graced us by sticking around.
Get going.
I burped. Jesus. I didn't want to be all loud and be like Barney on the freaking microphone.
That's the wrong
be that guy.
That's wrong day of the week for that. That's for Tuesdays.
So, again, want to say thank you and go into the archives and check out our interviews that we've done so far with Rachel Leigh, Brittany Blake, the lovely Heather Lynn, and the good witch, the conduit of karma, Kaya McKenna. We do have a couple more interviews to announce. We filled the gap for next week. Next week was the one open Saturday that we had. It is now booked with none other than Black and Gold NXT regular Blue Pants. Leva Bates will be with us.
Jesus Christ. Right on.
Oh, my gosh.
That's great. Sorry.
We also have a midweek Shenanigans that'll be coming soon because, got to work within the Weekend Warrior schedule. So on March 19th, we will be having top tier Jasmine Allure
on
the show.
You booked Jasmine. Right on, man.
Ladies' night herself.
And that'll be ahead of Jocelyn Navarro just 2 days later on the 21st.
All right, nice.
Of course, we have Alejandra Quintanilla coming up on the 28th, and everybody's BFF, Izzy Moreno, coming up on April 4th. Again, make sure you guys tune in as the ladies of Poder Mania take over the Shenanigans.
We will need to have a conversation later about, are we still going to book the post-interview for April 11th then, if that's the case. If we're actually going to do that or not. So, but we'll talk more about it.
We also have been having conversations, and I hope he is still in the chat room, because there's a little bit more glazing that I have to do for Mr. Nick Ferrantes. Because I already put him over big time for Kaya McKenna. We do have Who's Next in addition to those names. And a date has not been finalized, but I do have a agreement in writing for what is about to come. Again, based off of some work that Nick has done. And it all started with this post here, in which Pro Wrestling Symphony hyped Kaya McKenna versus Nixie XS for this weekend. To which Nick commented on and tagged me in, saying one of the promotions to look out for in 2026, as Pro Wrestling Symphony is not even a year old yet. Based on that, Jeff Meacham and Rory T. Miller started following me.
Yeah, I did the thing. What the fuck?
It just so happened to be at the same time.
Okay.
Rory T. Miller is one of the owners and commentators for Pro Wrestling Symphony.
Oh, okay.
Everything then went a little bit further when Symphony wished a happy birthday to Rory T. Miller. To which Nick then replied, "Good sir, from us here at SR Studios 2024, happy birthday. We hope you have an excellent day. Looking forward to hopefully talking to you fine folks soon." We then had Rory like our post earlier this week about Kaya coming on the show. He retweeted our post from earlier today about Kaya, and Pro Wrestling Symphony retweeted when we were live. So yes, Rory T. Miller will be joining us at some point in the not so distant future, the commentator and co-owner of Pro Wrestling Symphony. Look at him. He's in the chat like fucking exploding. Like, first he said, "I'm putting in work with other people too." And he's like, huh? No fucking way. Like, he didn't know about all this stuff.
Nice.
I dig it. That's,
So,
again,
another connection with another company.
Good stuff, Nick.
This one based in Nashville, Tennessee. Jeff, do we know anybody in Tennessee that can help us with legwork on the ground?
No, I don't 100% know, but I do know somebody that's good with numbers. And we can
A certain statistician.
And you know what? Based on our connections through the original Big G, I'll tell you what, we can even get another founder on the ground with us, helping out there out near Hendersonville somewhere. Fuck it.
You know, I actually made a phone call to our resident statistician.
So you called yours. I'm like, what the fuck would you get yours? Okay. Yeah.
And
yes,
he is down to potentially make the 3.5-hour drive from Sevierville to Nashville.
There you go.
Maybe not monthly, but on occasion to, show a face around there, represent the brand, talk to some of the talent, come in and put a live report in from what he sees. I love Nick here, all caps yelling at me. We need Connor on too. Fuck you, JJ. You hid this from me, you asshole.
Assholes? Hey, all I know is, wait, okay, that'll be the next great shirt. Stapway via satellite.
Wait, aren't we all via satellite?
This is accurate. Don't kill the shtick. Don't kill the shtick.
All right.
Let's start running through the shills here to get everyone out of here.
Yes.
Because Noah put in the chat there that we have 5 more minutes.
And it just expired.
So before we, Noah, I have one more thing you need to see. It's my new shill graphic. Because I want to get you to pop here.
Oh yeah.
Either pop or just completely spaz out and lose your shit. So I'm gonna do my shill graphic first, then I'll go to you, then you can get out of here.
Oh no.
Fine.
Oh no.
You can find me on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams, YouTube Casa D18 Studios, and on X at Casa D18 Studio. No S at the end of the X.
God damn it. Yep. Yeah, that's about right. About what I expected.
No.
And, well...
Hold up. I have to ask, Noah, are you not even going to pop for the fact that I was in the middle of that graphic?
I'm not going to say anything.
Wait, are you in the middle? Oh, I didn't even clock it.
I'm right between Thea and JC with Chucky in front of me.
Oh my God, that is you. Jesus Christ.
I'm not going to say anything.
My Lord Jesus.
Don't sell it. No, don't sell it. That's what he wants. Good job.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, JJ.
That was a very good edit, by the way. That might be your best edit period, JJ. Let's get to know it.
Come on, Noah. Give me a little something for that. You can say what you will about them not being an accredited university, but give me a little bit of love for the time that it took me to put that together.
Yeah, honestly, it does look really good.
I mean, I've got Bodie in there. I've got Tyler Bate in there. Like,
he got some of your boys in there. He's got some of your boys in there.
Everybody that has ever officially represented Chase U in some capacity. Ridge is in there.
Wait.
Riley is in there.
Wait, Chucky is in?
Chase Oh, yeah.
There was a promo photo that was done for Halloween one year with Andre Chase and Chucky was throwing up the U.
Okay, no, I'm with you. I hate it.
And me being a Child's Play fan,
yes.
I mean, this is a Chucky beanie that I'm wearing. It came with my Good Guys shirt.
Yes, it did.
Right.
Which I got from Walmart, by the way.
Yeah, fair. All right.
Jeff's mom's former employer.
Let's get the plugs. You look so over it.
Because she retired, so former employer.
Poor Noah is so fucking over it.
Give me a little love, Noah. Come on, I worked hard on that.
Come on.
Kudos to your creativity and something you're passionate about, even if it's an unaccredited institution.
There it is.
That's all I needed from you, bro.
God. Fucking hell. If you all wish to engage with me, don't. I prefer my isolated, introverted privacy. But if you want to be part of Predictions Leagues, find me on Fox 1916 at the X and on YouTube for all things wrestling. Again, the AEW League kicks off this week. Still predicting tentatively right now, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fuck TNA AM Sierra. 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday night. I'm so pissed off mood right now. I need sleep more than ever. Then at 3 p.m. Standard Time this Thursday night, AEW Revolution Sleep Addicting. That might change. I'll make it official. Come after Dynamite this Wednesday night. Of course, we're covering it this Sunday. Stay tuned. I think it's me and Walter. I don't know if things are going to change or it's going to become even more of a madhouse because God knows I moderate everyone here, it feels like.
Well, I definitely won't be on it as I will be there live, but I am looking forward to being part of the predictions show.
Lucky son of a bitch. You enjoy yourself.
I
And
know,
again, folks,
lucky ass.
well, I'm about to say, you saw what freaking been booked for this? He's going to see Timeless Toy Store versus Marina Shafir. That being said, again, folks, stay tuned for more on that as well. I only wish, despite my absolute regal, stoic, angry, sometimes short-fused, angry demeanor, I do appreciate all of you. I appreciate professional wrestling, for I am nothing more but the simple man, a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it. Reminding you, as much as Kyle McKenna encourages the simple man's mentality of taking care of yourself, there are no winners, no losers, no betters, just fans with opinions with this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Treasure your families no matter how much they annoy you. And just for life in the German professional wrestling, it is truly as simple as that. And with that being said, I bid you all a fine adieu. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Have a good evening, Noah. Thank you for hanging out with us later than normal.
Yes. He has church now earlier now because of the time switch. He go beamies.
Okay. I have to throw it up one more time just because I neglected the comments here, and there's a lot of comments that came in here.
Yeah, there was. Jesus.
Like, let me see here. I got to go up to the top. We had Charles saying, believe in Chase U. Damn it. Emmanuel saying, Chase U forever.
That's right.
Noah, believe in Chase U.
When did Chase U become
Charles,
freaking,
let's believe. Breathe,
Chase U
Noah.
Joe Henry?
But yes, that I have been working on that for the better part of 2 weeks.
Jesus.
Trying to find the images for everybody, trying to get everybody in there. The hardest one to find was Tyler Bate.
Oh, no shit.
Because he was only an honorary member for a short amount of time, but I found that image of him throwing the U up, and I did my thing.
He was the school counselor in kayfabe, right?
Hey, you know what?
Something like that.
Still there.
Let's get Ash out of here so she can go to bed.
Yeah, you can find me on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, at ShadowBadAsh, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Patty for Wrestling. Don't be a dickhead.
That's right.
Thank you again, Ash, for being patient with us as well. I know you wanted to dip and go Mimi's too because you've got an afternoon shift.
Yep.
So, and you're 3 hours or 2 hours?
Well, right now it's 3:36 a.m.
Okay, so you're 3 hours ahead of us. Okay.
Well, but she also already jumped.
Central.
No, but that's true. Oh, that's right. You're Central. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're 2 hours because we haven't had the jump yet.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember. I knew somebody here was Central. I couldn't remember if it was you or Nick.
Yeah, it's me.
It's
I'm
you.
Central Time Zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your Central. I think we're all.
You got the best time zone, damn it. I wish.
No, we got the best time zone. It's barely after midnight here for us on the West Coast. We haven't hit the jump yet.
Yes.
The jump will come while we're Mimi's.
Yeah.
Much to our phone chagrin.
Yes. Fuck. Okay. Just because I want to be that guy to James again. No, I'm kidding. The other day, I made James freaking wait it out and do him last.
That was so.
I'll be nice, James. Go ahead and do your thing.
I always forget about that shit till it comes up.
I mean, you can't be mad at Natalia Markova.
No.
You guys can find me on the
Well, you can be mad at her if you're a fan of other people that she usually defeats. But go ahead.
Well, you know. Potato. Cookie crumbles. You guys can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and X at JapeInside95 and on Facebook, James He-Man Hubert. I do meeting crew and dev teams on the internets. Wrestling with Tism on the Wrestle Collective as well at WC Worldwide. And Queens Road tomorrow, 7 o'clock p.m. EST on WC Worldwide. on the YouTube or on the Twitter is WC Worldwide, and the YouTube is the Wrestle Collective. Go follow the WrestleFish at X as well, my cohort for Wrestling with Tism and various watch-alongs. And also follow the Nick Soap Dish on Twitter at the Nick Soap Dish, my other cohort for Wrestling with Tism. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I bid y'all find a do. Good night.
All right, James. Good night. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for GCW Ransom from Chicago, Illinois. That'll be hosted by James and Ryan.
Yes. Join in and enjoy.
I won't be there for that one, unfortunately, because I have to work.
Yes.
Work is a teen, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. All right. From there, we will go to Walter.
Follow me on YouTube at Rage of Wrestling. Instagram is the Walter.Cruz.940, and X is at Walter Alex Cruz. And that's it for me. Pretty simple.
There we go. And then Jeff.
You can follow me across the socials at _Jeff Meacham. I'll be on the No DQ review this coming Tuesday, the Greg Cherry brand for the Greg Cherry Show the next 2 Wednesdays. And barring any other last minute changes on my Disney schedule, the next time you'll see me here with these crazy people is for the Izzy Moreno interview on April 4th. And then I'll be on live with the Greg Cherry brand for WrestleMania coverage. So tune in. And you can follow my buddy Stud with 2D Studderella. She makes awesome custom creations like the Phantasmic flannel I am wearing in that photo. I am hoping she can come through with me on a separate creation. And JJ, you'll appreciate this. Found my Mighty Ducks jersey. Finally, with no Anaheim patch on it. And it came in the mail with Anaheim patch on it. So but I was able to get a hold of the Goodwill Games logo. And thanks to a little AI help, I have a LA 94 Junior Goodwill Games logo. Placement patches, hopefully.
Nice.
I ain't wearing that fucking duck shit. I need that Anaheim duck shit on purpose. God damn it. I have my jersey and now it's ruined. So.
And again, you've got to go back. You've got to watch the interview with Kaya. There was so much hockey talk on the show. And giving Nick shit for being a Maple Leafs fan. You know, Nick tried to boo me for wearing my Kings jersey. It was like, okay, at least we've won a cup this millennium. You haven't won a cup since the Kings became a legitimate team.
That's right.
So go ahead and fuck all the way off with that.
The Kings were still crown-shaped fetuses the last time the Maple Leafs won a cup. So, yeah. But you know what, though?
Kaya actually plays. So she was talking about her position she plays. You know, balancing hockey and wrestling, which she brings from hockey to wrestling.
Hell yeah, dude.
Great
and
stuff.
I was still
there.
making my puns in the damn comment.
Okay.
I know. Poor Walter missed the opportunity to be on arguably one of the best interviews that we've done so far. That shit's the longest one we've done at almost an hour and 40 minutes. It went so long that Jeff popped in as we were signing off.
Yeah.
Like, because of his situation and transportation and whatnot, which is what it is. But, you know, he had said he wouldn't be home until like 9:35 or so. And he literally popped in as we were saying our goodbyes.
Yep.
So,
well, if we're over in the chat room, just get a better GM for your team. We're trying it with ours and it still isn't working, Sajo. So, you know, the Kings are what they are. And I will support them until I can't stomach anymore. It's getting close.
So
anyway,
that is going to wrap things up for this week's Shenanigans. Again, Ash, thank you so much for hanging out the entire time. You could have dipped after your plugs, darling.
Right, love.
You didn't have to stick around.
So I didn't want to come across as rude, so I just waited until everyone was done.
It's okay. The others dipped out after their plugs. You could have done the same. We would not have been upset at you.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right.
Appreciate it.
Going forward.
Appreciate it. But thank you for sticking around. Thank you to
You're welcome.
Noah. Thank you to James. Thank you to Walter and Jeff and Ash and myself. And special thank you to Nick. Who, because of his engagements with Kaya tonight, was possible And an even bigger special thank you to Kaya for giving us damn near an hour and 40 minutes of her time ahead of a huge match tomorrow, possibly 2 huge matches tomorrow. If she wins her semifinal match against Nixie XS, she'll have to defeat the winner of Jazzy Yang and Freya the Slayer in the finals for the Symphony Women's Championship, the inaugural Symphony Women's Championship. So, huge shout out to them. Again, thank you to all the talent names that we dropped here for liking or resharing our posts.
You're welcome.
You know, Gringo Loco. I've lost count of all of them. Teriyaki, Bobby Flacco, Otis Koger, AJ Gray. Thank you to Rory and PW Symphony for sharing our posts. Thank you to the 27 of y'all that are still with us at 3:45 in the morning or 4:45 in the morning on the East Coast.
Yeah, really.
You know, God bless you all. And until next week, we will catch y'all next time. Have a good night.